It is a pleasant good evening. Oh my goodness. Today is it's May 26th. Today is May 26th, and I know that because tomorrow is when they are going to be voting on this pandemic treaty, the World Health Organization, which I'm hoping that we can touch on tonight. And of course, Dr. Ferdinand is going to pick that up tomorrow. But just let me say, welcome, good evening. It's beautiful. It's a little warm. It was cool yesterday, a little warm today, but we are effervescent. We are strong. We are a strong opposition. Yes. We are doing well. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And we are coming to you live from Barbados, people. Live from Barbados. This is the Marcia Week show where on this show we educate, we motivate, we mobilize, we agitate for change in Barbados, change in our lives. Yes, we are a people who believe in change. And that is why we come on every single night. We educate ourselves and then we agitate for the change that is necessary so that we can have a better Barbados. Yes? And we come together as citizens of Barbados, all 260,000 of us. We used to say 280,000. We're told now that we're 260,000 strong, okay? And we come together because we believe that in us joining forces that we can see a change in Barbados. We can see a turning point in Barbados. We can see things change. And you know what? We don't have to be necessarily running for any political office to see change, right? There are those that will need to run for political office. In the meantime, we're going to educate ourselves. We're going to mobilize and we're going to help each other. I want to say on behalf of the fire victims, we got the barrels to them, and it was more than barrels because we had so many other bags and so many things that were given, were donated to the fire victims, and we mobilized ourselves on here. We mobilize ourselves on here. We help. There's so many persons in Barbados who are helped, and we don't come on and say their names. You know, what I would do a lot of times is just call the citizens that I know would want to help. So we preserve the dignity of those people. But this show mobilizes, and we help people, we help citizens. It's more than just talk, and that's what I love about it. That's what I love about it. Let me just welcome everybody who's on. And the great thing about this is that we are doing things together. And I have my little book here, the 1937 riots. And remember, I told you that, well, the book says disturbances, because you know how we do it in Barbados. But there were riots. Um, as a result of that, you know what happened? I mean, we're not having a riot here on this show. The Marcia Week show is not about a riot at all. As I said, we are educating, mobilizing, we agitating, we're motivating. And as a result of what happened in 1937, I remember I went through all the things that happened as a result of the 1937 riots. Anybody can remember anything that I said on the show? What we have to do. CG, welcome, CG. And CG is an example of what we're talking about. That when we come on here, we see an issue, and we go away and we come up with solutions for it. And CG she's exhibit A. CG spends the time to do up all those beautiful placards that you see there. Well done. Sometimes she's there alone. Sometimes I don't know if I can call the other name of the other person, a gentleman, a good friend of mine who goes there and helps her. Right? I will go and try a thing. That's not my forte at all. But I go and I bring moral support, or I do a live to show what they're doing there. But she's exhibit A. and everybody who, Gelbis and her entire family, I can't call all the names, Kathy Weeks, who is, she's a coordinator for our marches, and everybody who's put their hands to the plug, Lisa Niles, the flyers, and why am I saying all of this? Because we do it as a team. It's not just the panelists that you see here. Impossible. It's a team. It's done, and it's everybody on that team, and I can't remember all the names right now, and they make sure that everything is being done, and it is the people, and we work together for a better Barbados, and that's the only way it's going to be done. That's the only way, and that's what happened with the 1937 riots. I know we think a lot about Clement Payne, and we have made that, the central point of the 1937 riots, but really, I remember reading to you all the names of the persons who, died. There were 9 people who were killed. Yes, and there were 30 wounded. People sacrificed to this. They came together, and your ancestors sacrificed for what? For this, the establishment of the Labor Department was because 9 persons died and 37 others were, and 30 were wounded. Do you understand that? Somebody died so that we could have the establishment of the Labor Department, the employment of a labor officer. And that is why we fight for these things. When we hear that our public servants are not being treated well, the prison officers are not being treated well, when we hear about the conditions that the brow workers are working under, the workers at the airport and wherever, this is why we have to get on the road and we have to protest, because 9 persons died for this. 30 persons were wounded for this. People went to jail for this. The passing of the Labor Act or the Minimum Wage Act. Huh? Tell Honorable Colin Jordan that somebody died for this. That Minister of Labor that he's in charge of, somebody died. 9 persons died, so it would have been established. The passment of the Employment of Women, Young Persons and Children Act all happened as a result of the 1937 riots. We don't have to have anybody dying. We don't have to have any guns. We don't need all of that. What we need is just a rising up in here. We need a standing up. That's all we need in here, just a good standing up. Looking forward to the day when we, the citizens, 260-something thousand of us, will lock down this place. Yeah. The passing of the Working Men's Compensation Act. Because of the 1937 riots, the passing of the Trade Union Act. Do you realize that all of this had to do with labor and labor conditions, working conditions? And have you checked recently of the working conditions of our workers in Barbados? I sit here and the calls that I get of people who are not being paid properly, not being paid on time. This is now the Barbados that we live in. And people died so that this would happen. Good evening to everybody who's joined. Yes, the activation of the Old Age Pension Act, right? All of that was because of the 1937 that they're trampling on today and causing us to work way longer before we get our pension. Somebody died so that the Old Age Pension Act would be passed. Tell Honorable Colin Jordan that. The extension of the Social Welfare Office. Right? And the list goes on of what these people died for. Barbadians died, and they were wounded, and many were jailed. And that's why we keep doing what we're doing. People say, you're not tired? No, I'm not tired. I'm not tired. You're tired? I'm not tired. When we have a better Barbados, we can stop. And we'll have a better Barbados. And we don't have to wait on politicians to have a better Barbados. And that's why I want to thank God for the health festival that we had this weekend, the Health and Wellness Festival. Miss Valerie Hoyt, take a bow. I don't know if you're back in the U.S. yet, but she came down with a team of doctors and nurses and so on, and they joined with those in the medical profession here in Barbados and put on a wonderful event at King George V Park. And you know what she said, guys? All 336 of you watching, FX Trading, good night. Cecilia, good night. Heathcliff, good night. Heathcliff, do you know what Valerie said, why she did this? She's living in the US and she came and listened to the show. She logged on one night and she heard me reading. For the first time in her life, she heard Errol Barrow's speech. For the first time, she heard the Errol Barrow speech. What kind of mirror image do you have of yourself? And she went and she researched it, because I told the people I got it from the internet. And she went and researched it, and she was so inspired that she decided, I am putting on a health fair to help my people in Barbados. I saw with my eyes yesterday, she was giving away blood pressure machines that cost a lot of money here. Lots of giveaways. They had so many giveaways, things that they brought with them to give away. They raised money to cover the expenses. They didn't, they did such a wonderful, amazing job. The Diaster Sue and everybody. I don't know all the names I'm allowed to call, but let me just say to that team, that's what it is. This is Valerie there. That's what being a Barbadian is about. And that is the spirit we are trying to engender on this program. So to all of those who are calling us named anarchists, does this look like anarchy to you? What happened at King George V Park yesterday? That looked like anarchy to you? We are looking for change in Barbados, and we understand that we are the first change agents. We are the change agents. It's us. We are the change agent. That's what Valerie recognized, and every single person on the team. I can't call everybody's name because I don't know. People do things sometimes and they don't want their names to be mentioned. So I don't know all the names I'm allowed to call. Right? But I just want to say, and I know I'm not going the normal way that I normally go each night, but it's okay. I just want to read for you someone who was actually there and what they said of the event that they sent me. The person said, we had a fantastic program yesterday. I'm delighted by the impact made on the audience. We are meeting the needs of the people in ways in which a government is utterly incapable. Congratulations to the team. And I am grateful for their commitment and dedication to a magnificent achievement. It was exquisitely beautiful. Huh? You heard that? And there were others who were there. The information that went out. And it's a first of many. I know some people felt that they could talk a lot more about the herbal medicine and that, holistic health. And yes, and I believe, but this is a first installment and we're not going to kill it. Yeah. I think this is something that is beautiful, Patrick. And that's it. I want everybody, Bajan boy, when we come on here on the show, that we look for ways that we can help. Look for ways that we can help. We've told the people in at the church, St. Ambrose Church, and can I just give kudos to St. Ambrose Church? Oh, the priest there and everybody in the community that works with St. Ambrose Church. It's right there in Wellington Street where they had the fire. Those people are working round the clock for the fire victims, and we are going to keep in good relationship with them. And one of the things, a friend of mine, she had an amazing idea, and her idea was to go inside and in there and hold an event to uplift the people in Wellington, bring in the arts, and at the same time do another drive to collect stuff for the fire victims, because sometimes the beginning they get stuff, and then towards as we move along, then we forget about them. But we're not going to forget about them, Barbadians. That's not how we move. That's not how we move, and so we are going to continue all the outreaches that we're doing. And as I said, those of you who came on late, there I will tell you, I want to thank those of you who come on each night, that you are so committed that I know I can call on you. I can call on you and I say, there's somebody that needs having a problem with their water bill, or there's somebody who needs help with this, etc. So there's a child that needs this to school. And you know what? The people, Barbadians, jump to the occasion to help. And I'm happy to use the platform to help the citizens of Barbados. If we're not doing that, then what are we? We're hypocrites. We're hypocrites. And Valerie Hoyt, come to the front of the class and take a bow with your team, the diaspora, using your resources and coming and to Barbados and what you have done yesterday. And a lot of people weren't there because because of the rain. There's nothing that they could do about it. There's so many events that were canceled yesterday because of the rain. Okay. However, Valerie didn't cancel though. Valerie did not cancel. This is a real deal you see on the screen here. And you would see her in the comment section and she's typing up and so on, but then she put action to what she does. That is the Barbadian spirit that we're seeking to engender, that we know exists. And that is what happened in 1937. They decided we are going to rise up and do something for ourselves. And I told you earlier, we don't need sticks and stones and bullets and guns and all that. Don't mind the prime minister is now saying that we need to train our children on how to use guns and the safety and so on. I don't know if she doesn't think before she speaks, because she could never have any of I have 3 boy children. She could never have any 3 of my children to be teaching them about no guns in a climate like this. Irresponsible comment. Irresponsible. Just open her mouth and say nonsense. Because she sees all the armed forces there at the end of the trade winds talking about, the children and our young people need to be taught about guns and the safety. Hello? Anyway, just let me just go back and just say, Valerie and team, I am so proud of you. You should be proud, Barbadians. And, in that light, I want to say something, that for those who are trying to quell or to remove the legacy of Barrow, that would be a disservice to this nation. That event yesterday was as a result of hearing that speech that was made so many years ago, probably before Valerie was born. I don't know. And she was still inspired by that speech, that she could do a whole health festival because of that speech, and drew so many people to help her in the diaspora and here in Barbados. So it is very, very foolish to try to think that you're going to, we should, quell the heritage, the legacy of Errol Barrow, the Honorable Errol Walton Barrow, the Right Honorable Errol Walton Barrow. That's a travesty, Barbados. No, that's our foundation. You're building a house. You don't hit down your foundation. You strengthen your foundation. I want those in the BLP, come and listen and learn something tonight. Learn about building. You do not hit down your foundations. You build and strengthen your foundations. Errol Barrow is your foundation and part of your foundation. These people here, who all the 9 of them that died and the 30 that were wounded, they're part of our foundation. We don't throw away our foundation. Huh? All of the ancestors that came over here and they had auction off in that same area that you put up the 3,000 $3 million worth of concrete and steel. Oh, there was an auction block. Oh, there's an auction block. And our ancestors were auctioned right out there. That's our foundation. We don't throw it away. So you tell this BLP government that under no circumstance and no time at all will we forget about the legacy of Errol Barrow. On June 1st, anybody can tell me what happened June 1st, 1987? Who can tell me? I haven't even started to greet my people yet. Let me do that real quick. Loyal Daughter, good night. Nigel Carrington, good night. Vernon Garnes. Tonight is a little different. Bear with me. Erwin Nurse, good night. Ryan Rock, good night. And I can't even get to read all these wonderful comments. Listen, I feel a change coming, you know. And the change is going to happen with all of us on here tonight. It is all of us. I love it. There is this change in the air, man. And that Health Festival is just the beginning. Yeah. It's just the beginning. Sandra Brewster, Tony Paris, welcome. You are a change agent, born again. Born again, you are a change agent. Yes, Sir Alfred Benjamin, you are a change agent. You will change Barbados. Mystic Angel, yes, you're going to change Barbados. Clive Osborne, you will change Barbados. Llewellyn Eiffel, you are a change agent and you are getting ready to do something big in Barbados. We're not going to be sitting down and waiting on no politician. You understand? Jeannie Motley, thank you for what you do in the quiet. In the quiet, you know what you do. You know what you do. Anthony Oliver, oh my goodness, Lucinda Allen, Leanna Bell, and don't talk about how you guys pay for your marches. You say, I want a march, and you pay for the marches. You say, I want a roadside parliament, and you pay for the lights and the sound and the equipment and the space and everything. We don't owe a soul anything. Yeah, so you can go back. Those of you are watching, those watching from the government, go back and tell commission that we're not getting any money from any according to him, these people from overseas right wing, just complete liars. And I can say it's a lie. It's no defamation because I am speaking the truth. Yeah, commission lied. The ambassador to the CARICOM told a lie. It's not defamation because it's truth. Every cent comes from everybody on here. That's the Barbadian spirit. And that's what they were not counting on. Everton Hunt. Yeah. Yes, Everton Hunt. He died June 1st, 1987. This great man died. And guess what, Everton? We have a march scheduled for that day. And on that march, we're going to honor we're going to remember him. And you might say, some people will say, oh, Marcy, you seem so fixated on Errol Barrow. You know why? Because I understand foundations. I understand foundations. I've done so much hours and days and weeks and months of research on Errol Barrow that moved me to tears and give me the impetus to be doing what I'm doing today. So I'm telling you, till I die, I will be talking about Errol Barrow. So when June 1st, once I hear the date, June 1st, I know, oh, that's the day he died. And we're not celebrating his death, but we're going to remember him, though. We're going to play that speech on the road when we're walking. June 1st, on Saturday, when we are marching, we're going to remember him. When we get into the square, we're going to remember him in the speeches as well. We're going to have little excerpts and so on, and we're going to remember him. I tell you, Barbados, we will become stronger. This house we're trying to build called our nation, We're putting up the walls, then break out the windows. They vandalized us. They have vandalized our house, Barbados. Huh? Criminals have come and they have stolen from us. They have gone into the house. You know how sometimes, parents, you leave your home and you come back and people vandalize the house. You go away and come back and they take out all the furniture. They take out the windows. They take out the door. That's what this set has done to this country. And these wicked ones want to go and dig out the foundation, to throw away the foundation, because they want to mash it up. They want to mash up this country. Greed. It's a criminal act that they are doing. Greed. Everybody want to pack up their pockets. But we are here to rebuild our home. This is our home. Barbados is our home. And we are here to rebuild. We are here to be rebuilt, yes? And I just want to, listen, Pauline Maynard, you're a builder. Pauline, Steve Moore, you're a builder. You're there in UK, you're a builder. Let us begin to build and change how we speak about this country. Yeah? Speak about, use our mouths to build up. Cynthia Thor, we are builders. We are builders. Yes? We are builders. Yes, guys. Yes, we are. Gelviz, yes, we are. We are builders. We are doing what the government should be doing. But because we love our country, yes, we're going to hold them accountable. But we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Mr. Caswell Franklin is doing it. Huh? Yeah? And when you come on here to help us to do what we do, you know what you do. You like and share. And there is a little bell that's there. You click that bell. And what that will do is to increase the number of subscribers as well. And you will get a notification every time that we come on. And I know I haven't done the anthem yet, but this was a different one tonight. I was just moving by the Spirit tonight. Noel, good evening. Rolliston Brown, good evening. Yes. Yes, good night, Edwin. Edwin is such a wonderful speaker. Seems so unassuming, but when Edwin hit the truck twice, and he spoke at a roadside parliament, and actually they picked it up in the news what he said. And I don't even know if he knew he was good at public speaking. Edwin, I don't know. You have to message me. But Edwin is such a fantastic public speaker. And and nowadays, I tell you, once I see him, he got to come on the truck and say a word, because he knows how to speak to the people. Nigel Newton, what a mind that we have there. Excellent. And I'm hoping he has something for us again very, very soon to come on to the show. Hasbro, good night. And Irene, good night. And I see Mr. Franklin there. But I got to do the anthem. I can't call everybody, but you know, we do this thing together. Alvin Brown, good night, Alvin. Your comments matter. And it's good to have you. It's good to have you. Guys, welcome to every single one of you. What an amazing group of people doing such an amazing job. You are an amazing people. And Barbados, I'm telling you, we are going to live to see the changes. We are enough. We can do it, The last thing I want to say before we play that anthem is that, listen, Barbados is not known. Good night, Winston. Good night, Winston. Good night, Winston. Oh, my goodness. Winston, I'm going to send you the link. If you can come on and just a few minutes to talk about the World Health Organization and this pandemic treaty. Just to say a few words, and if you can't do it tonight, we'll be on for tomorrow as well. But I know that tomorrow is a big day for that. But, I want to say something, that Barbados is not known, Winston, for agriculture. Bauxite. Jamaica is known for bauxite. We make aluminum and all the exports and all the different things. Not that we can't export anything. We can. It's just about governance and management and what we do. and how we use the resources that we have. We're not known for those things. You know what Barbados is known for? Human resources. You ask anybody in the Caribbean, they will not want to tell you the truth because they're jealous. But the human resources, because of the level of education that we had, which we have to fight for, that's another pillar in this house that we have to fight to make sure we rebuild our education. But the human resources, very, very strong. We are capable. And that's why I say to us all on here tonight, we are enough. We can do it with God's help. We can do it. We can rebuild this nation. Yes, we can do it. Let's go to our anthem, and then we go right into Mr. Franklin is right there. We're going to go right in the anthem. I don't know if Dave wants me to play it. I normally play it, so I figure I'm the person to play it. So let me go right into that. Different night. Guys, please like and share. Like and share. You must like up the thing. Like and share. Important. Important. Oh, wonderful, 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 wonderful. Good night. Good night again. I'm seeing Mr. Franklin is here, and I talk out your time, but I was getting all motivated. I was getting all up in my feelings. Good night, sir. How are you? You're muted.
Good night. I'm well and happy to be here again. And good night to all the people who are watching so far. I'm seeing on YouTube alone 565, and we have 191 likes. I would like to see that 1,000 by the end of the night, but that's for you to do and for us to thank you for. I will try now to speak to a few issues.
Yes, I was wondering, Mr. Franklin, if if you would talk about BRAC, because I don't want you to forget about that, and then we talk about we do have a parent that's coming on tonight. Is she still?
Yes, I confirmed with her.
Okay.
I thought about 8 o'clock. So
Yes, I want to make sure you get your bra out first if you want to deal with that, and then, okay, go ahead, sir.
well, as everybody should know by now, the Barbados Revenue Authority workers who are members of Unity Workers Union have taken industrial action. It's been ongoing industrial action for the whole last week. It is just that we didn't publicize it until the last few days.
Yes.
However, I do not like when people lie. I have difficulty dealing with people who actually lie. They made what you call a press release to say that there was no adverse effect on the operations of BRA. Now, pray tell me, you are saying to the government that you need more staff, that you don't have enough staff to do what you want to do, or what you're supposed to be doing. But then 73 out of that number that you already have, then you have two, you don't have enough. But 73 can start home. And you're going to say to the people, oh, it didn't have any effect. That means you don't need any more staff.
Right.
So you can't be so silly just for the sake of trying to sound good, to say, oh, it didn't have any impact. We did have an impact. And I've had people calling me to say that they were in the line at BRA for over 2 hours. And one guy said he went down there early in the morning because he wanted to make sure he got through. He went about for 6 o'clock. In the Pine, I think he said he was. And he didn't leave till 10. So and then on most days the offices open late because they didn't have anybody to work. You have one cashier, some places have an accountant. And they are saying to us, trying to give people the impression. But at the same time, if they would tell the people the truth, people will not waste all the time in the lines.
Yeah.
It is but it's causing some inconvenience, and we don't mean to cause inconvenience, but the members of staff, all members of staff, my members, the other union members, are all suffering the abuse, the bad behavior that is coming from senior management at BRA. And I think one of the biggest offenses you could commit now at BRA is to join Unity Workers Union. They're taking it out. They're trying to take it out on you. They would be very courteous. You would call them or you would write them, and they would respond very easily, but then do nothing.
Yeah.
They say, oh, we'll get back to you by the end of the week. And the end of the week goes a month later, and they still haven't gone back to you. But that is not unusual for BRA, because BRA does not don't behave properly anywhere, even to the Labor Department. Labor Department, some of them to meetings that won't come. Now, government must do better than that, because the chief labor officer can bring proceedings against you if you're summoned there and you don't come.
Yes.
That he has not done, well, she or he, none of them have done so far. But there's provision in the rules for it. However, government must set the example. Government must set the example for others to follow. So if the average employer out there saying that the government is doing something, I will follow government's lead. It is as simple as that. You cannot disrespect the institutions in Barbados, disrespect the unions, you disrespect the Labor Department, you disrespect even the taxpayers, and then expect people to be happy. They're not going to be happy. We planned, however, to continue the industrial action until something gives. We cannot go this far and then simply just say, okay, the government misbehaving, so we can stop. We are not going to misbehave. We are going to follow the rules. We are going to comply with the regulations. But at the same time, the law allows us to withdraw labor at the behest of your union if it is to advance the objects of your union. And that's what we are doing. It is an offense, a criminal offense, to adversely affect the employment of anyone who is taking industrial action, who has left the work to go to a meeting, a union meeting, who wants to join the union, proposing to join, or have joined. All of those things, if you try to adversely affect their employment, dismiss or adversely affect their employment, it's a criminal offense, and you are subject to imprisonment for 6 months or a meager fine of $1,000. Now, if they want to go that route, I'm willing to go to the police and say, well, look, this is what has happened. My experience, however, is that the police is not aware of this legislation, because the first time I ever went to the police station to report an employer who dismissed workers because they joined the union, the police tell me they don't know what you're talking about, and that I should go to the labor department. I had to go and get my car because I suspected that the police would not know about it. So I traveled with my law book and I showed them. And then they were all in a quandary what to do, because it is a criminal offense. And criminal offenses are supposed to be reported to the police. Yes, you can file in the magistrate's court a criminal offense, a private criminal prosecution. But that could be a bit troublesome. And then again, the director of public prosecution should come and discontinue it. So we prefer to take the matter to the police, let the police investigate, if that is what they want to do, because the management at BRA, some senior management people at BRA, are calling the workers, knowing full well they're on strike, and making demands of them. That is a criminal offense. I have actually warned in writing a senior manager before. Now I understand she's not doing it, but others are doing it. I expect them to follow the rules like everybody else. And this is a government agency that enforce rules. Now, you can't be a rule maker and a rule breaker, and at the same time, you don't expect the police to be out there smoking drugs on the block when they lock up people for it. So when you are supposed to be a law enforcement agency, because BRA is also a law enforcement, you cannot then turn around and breach the laws because you feel that you have friends in the right places.
Right.
So I'm saying to that, the people in Barbados, we will continue our action this week. And I think the action has been successful in the sense that the authorities have taken note. They're noticing. Unfortunately, I believe, and some person made the point to me today, that this is selective discrimination, that I should take the matter to the International Labour Organization, make a complaint. That's not something that I can do on my own. I have to speak with the president to see if they are willing to go that route.
Yes.
It is. I can't make that decision on my own. I would love to do it. I would do it tomorrow, but I can't complain that people are breaking the rules, and I break them too.
You have to follow the right procedure. So apart from the union being, you need the union to be, recognized as the as a union there, and not just recognized, because you have most of the people there. What else is it that you're asking the workers want? What is it? You have said it a number of times on here, but for those who might not hear, you have to repeat things to people. Can you repeat what
I will do? I will read off some for you.
Yes, because there's a document. I know there's a document. I was searching for it, but
I will just pull it up. There's several documents that the staff are pushing around, and but I'm not going to complain. They're complaining about things that affect the taxpayers. I'm not going to do that tonight. The taxpayers must meet demands of the government. When they are hurting, they talk to the government. Do what they have to do. That I don't represent them. The management has refused to recognize Unity Workers Union as the bargaining agent. That's the first complaint the members have. And they have disrespect and disregard for staff, because some staff are treated very badly. They're abused and they don't like it. They complain about unfair dismissal of 2 colleagues. One, and it's a terrible matter, because the organization who has on the Human Resource Committee a general secretary of a union, general secretary of Unity National Union of Public Workers, is on the Human Resource Committee of BRA. And I would hope, and this man was represented by his union, but he was sit on the Human Resource Committee. And this man who was dismissed from the organization for stealing. And then they discovered that he didn't really steal anything, but he was already dismissed. So rather than say we made a mistake and come back and we are sorry, they're saying, no, we're going to offer you compensation for unfair dismissal, and hopefully that will fix it. But he was working there for 6 years. Compensation for unfair dismissal is 2.5 weeks pay for the 6 years. That's not a lot of money, especially at the level of messenger. What will do for his mortgage after that? What will do for his light bill? Right? So we are saying to them, no, that is not good enough. And the other guy, he was responsible with the computer department, can work from vacation, and was given a letter saying that his post is made redundant. First of all, in the public service, nobody makes a post redundant unless it passes through the Ministry of Public Service. The Ministry of Public Service has no knowledge that these people are making that post redundant. Because if you, sorry, I don't want to mislead. If you're an agency that receives money from central government, and you want to make people redundant, you have to speak to central government. The people responsible in central government, that's the Ministry of Public Service. Now, if it is something like Transport Board, CBC, even though they don't make any money, but they're supposed to, or the central bank, then you don't go to the Ministry of Public Service. Those entities that should make their own money. BRAD does not make any money. All BRAD does is collect money. So they have to get money from central government. So they just sent him home and said it was redundant. However, within days, they brought in the fellow and gave him his job. Redundancy is where the job no longer exists, or there's not enough work for the person. But they brought in a person, give him the job, call it something else, and say he's redundant. Now, if you call a job something else, but the job functions remain the same, it is not redundancy. It is unfair dismissal or wrongful dismissal. That matters before the court as well. Well, and they asked us to settle our damages that we're looking for. So I don't know if they want to settle or they just want to pull our chain and pull us down left for all the time. The next thing is that they're overlooking qualified people from BRA, who were experienced, qualified people who have been doing the work, and then bring people from KPMG. I'm going to call the name, because this is the agency where the Revenue Commissioner used to work at before she came into the government service. So she's bringing all of her colleagues and putting them in positions, senior positions, and then requiring the same people that you refuse to promote, asking those people to teach them. I have told all the people in my union, don't teach anybody anything. If they know the job, if they're good enough to get the job over your head, then they should be good enough to do it. I hope they listen. Then there's supersession. That is where they take people who are junior to you, less qualified than you, but somehow that place is treated like as though it is somebody's little private domain, and they can pick up people and say, well, I'll promote you, you go, and the people who are actually there, and some of the people are actually in the jobs, acting in them, and then take you and put somebody else in them. Then we have a situation where the assistant accountants and accountants are working late without overtime pay or with any assistance. And that can't continue. They work sometimes up to 7 o'clock at night. There are not enough staff members to go around. So these people have to work extra. It isn't that they just feel like working. There are not enough of them. Yet still, they're saying, oh, with 73 people off, they didn't have, it wasn't adversely affected. The work is adversely affected every day because you don't have
enough
staff to do the job. And then what they're also complaining about is irregularity in pay grades. I'm talking about the auditors. There is in the public service something called bracketing. Now, if you have two posts that are bracketed, like we will have one will be like junior and one is senior, but they bracket them so that you actually can move from one post into the next. Sometimes it's with some qualification. Like if you have a particular qualification, when you get that qualification, you go into the higher grade. So we have auditors 1 and auditors 2. They are bracketed. So if you start as auditor 2 and you reach the requirement to go to auditor 1, then you go to auditor 1. In this case, it is not any academic qualification or anything like that. It is just time served, time on the job. It is 5 years. We have people working 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, and they still have not proceeded to the auditor 1 position. Mind you, that it is not something that it is not a decision that the BRA can make. It's already made in the law. So you're just refusing to pay those people what they are duly entitled to. It is not something that we are asking them to do. We're always telling them to do or begging or pleading or negotiating for them. What we are saying to you is simply follow the law. And the quality and the what once you got past that 5 years, you're auditor 2. But she will bring people from KPMG and make them auditor 1. First day in the organization, you're auditor 1. Then somebody got and somebody auditor 2s. Now your juniors got train you. It cannot be fair. So these people are saying, well, enough is enough, along with the bad behaviors, and they try to then turn around and bribe a few people. Last year, Christmas, they said, oh, we're going to have a Christmas party at Sam Lord's Castle to take people, the same BLP mentality, you know, that where they give people food. Well, the people at BRA did not buy into that nonsense. So most of them stayed away. They had about 70 people out of the 311. They refused to go. So because you can't treat me bad 364 days a year and then carry me to Sam Lord's Castle and give me a lot of liquor and stuff and not knowing that people who drink liquor shouldn't be driving. And they did all that. And people coming from Sam Lord's Castle who live all in town and all kind of stuff. Something had happened and something did.
Yeah.
They tell me he will never work again. Now, actually, I was in an accident coming out of that party. And also this year now, they're telling the people, okay, nobody, people on strike. So they tell you, if you come in and you sign in and then you can apply for one of the World Cup tickets. You know, they're trying to bribe people. They think that people have no respect for themselves. You imagine you are on industrial action. And what they want you to do is to come into the office, sign in, and then you can apply for a ticket because they're going to have 100 tickets. So first come, first serve. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know who took the tickets, but it was telling the people, go and take them and then sell them. At least you will get some money. You know? But sometimes, you know, they're not doing that. They don't even want. They won't even go in. They're going to log in and get your ticket. World Cup ticket, $150 at least. I tell them, go and get your ticket. And then come on back and go back on strike. But some of them didn't want to do that. You know, so we have this situation where Bra chooses
Yes.
to misbehave, and because they have the backing, you know, and what is shameful is that the minister responsible for Bra is the prime minister. Yeah, the prime minister. People talk about Ryan Strong being the minister.
Right. Because,
He
yeah.
is not. He is not. As a matter of fact, he has been approving things and signing things at Bra with no authority to do so. You can only sign them if you're the minister responsible. They're giving people waivers. He can't get about no waiver. He is not the minister. But the prime minister here line up to sign anything. So he goes and sign things. And I think he should know better. The man met the common mayor, oh Lord, but he should know better.
And
You know?
so she is really, because sometimes you think about him, but really ultimately she is who is responsible, because she is the minister of finance. And we must remind everybody that she is the minister of, I think it's about 9 ministries, is it? We went through that on
Yeah,
here.
we went. So I can't remember much. It's 13.
Yeah, I mean, quite a number of ministries. That's how much trust she has in the people that's working with her. That she takes on all, more than 9 ministries, right? But and Ministry of Finance is one of them. But continue, Mr. Brown.
Well, I will leave the Bra thing for now because I wanted to touch something that someone contacted me, because we're talking on the show, and people will call our WhatsApp me and ask some questions.
Mm-hmm.
Last salary revision, people were given a 3% increase. Normally, for all the years I've been involved in unions, when there's a negotiation, the pensioners get 2/3 of what the civil servants get. So if they get 3%, the pensioners should have gotten 2%. And that was agreed as far as I understand. A pensioner contacted me to ask if they can file a class action suit because they haven't gotten their money all right now.
So the pensioners did not get the increase.
They didn't get the increase. Well, I didn't check that for myself. This is responding to a query that I got after it came from the show last time. Right? They're saying that they didn't get the 2% increase. That is normal practice. So
if there are any pensioners out there listening, if you did not get that 2%, you didn't see any increase, let us know. Or if you saw an increase, let us know.
Right. The other thing that we had, another query, when they was talking about the prison officers not getting their salaries deducted and something not being paid. I had a query for that, and the answer to this is failure to pay wages is tantamount to dismissal. They call it constructive dismissal. There is nobody in the public service that can dismiss you other than the president. So no functionary below the president can do anything that would amount to dismissal. So if you do not pay me, you have dismissed me. So they have no authority whatsoever to say to people, we are not paying you. And the thing is, and these are circumstances where they are saying that people were on sick leave for an extended period of time, and some departments are not paying them. There is no head of department. There's no permanent secretary in Barbados or no head of department that has the right to make that decision.
So why aren't they paying them? I don't understand. I'm still trying to follow what you're saying.
Okay. What happens? You are a public officer. You're entitled to your salary every month. As a matter of fact, put in the estimates. Don't even debate that part of the estimates. The money is just put there for you. And you're supposed to be paid every month. If you are on sick leave, you still get your pay.
Right.
Because the government determined back in 1966 that since public officers are entitled to receive full pay
when
they're on sick leave, then we are not going to put them under the national insurance sickness benefits, because then they would be entitled to 100% of their salary and then 66 and 2/3% of the national insurance. So they
Right.
do not. So public workers, if you know any public workers, you will see that they're, and you person in private sector to make the same salary, you will realize that the public officer pays less national insurance because
Right.
and that takes care of the sickness benefit. You don't pay for sickness benefit. So when these people go to work, let's say you don't get paid from national insurance, you get a certificate, but you can't take a national insurance because you're not covered for it. Because government is committed to paying you a full salary. That was one of the perks of being a public officer, going back in colonial times. So when you don't pay them their salary, money comes, and no money is coming in, what do you expect those people to do? Go and get a cup in hand and go downtown and stand on the bridge? You can't do that to people.
Yeah.
But government is trying to balance their books, so every little thing, they're just stealing. And I'm calling it stealing from public officers. They are stealing. So when they say no, and sometimes sometimes people get paid. And they say, oh, you want sick leave. So we are going to take out that money. Not asking them, even if they were entitled to take it out. And I'm saying that they don't. But even if they were entitled to take it out, what you must do is to say to some person, look, you owe us this money. How are you going to pay it back? No. We have some bullies in the public service that decide, well, look, we're going to take out $300, $500 of your salary every month until this money is paid back. Mind you, when they do that sometimes, like in the case of the prison officer that I spoke with on Saturday, when they took out her money, she get $89.
Wow.
$89 to last you for a month. The government of Barbados signed a convention with the International Labour Organization to say that you cannot take out people more than a third of people's money. Because they always intend that you must have some money to support your family.
Yes.
That is a convention that was signed on the 8th of May 1967 by the government of Barbados. Because we signed a lot of conventions on that day, because we just became independent. And before independence, we could not sign conventions because that was Britain's job for us.
Right.
But we didn't sign them as an independent country. And the government is ignoring the fact that even if they had the right to take out some money, they cannot take out all. So some people get a thing that says 0.00 because they take out people money.
Yes.
You cannot expect a person to live on $0.00 in any 1 month.
Wow. And I mean, this is somebody's even here saying that even the death benefit, that they're troubling that as well. And it's wow.
Master, the lady who's supposed to come on, she is having internet connectivity. She just contacted me to say that she's not getting on.
Oh wow.
Okay, let's hope that she tries again.
Yeah.
She's listened, so I suspect that she will be here.
Right. So yes, if just try again, ma'am, if you're, because we would love to hear you. You can try a different device. Sometimes if the phone doesn't work and you have any other device, use somebody else's device in the home that would lend you. Just to come on for a few minutes, so to corroborate what Mr. Franklin is saying about what's happening in the prison, because that is very, very serious. But
mind you, I took notes. So if she is not able to get in, I will read my notes. I will read some of the notes that I took from her this afternoon.
yeah, so
because
yeah.
this matter is Well, I'll go on. And if she gets on, then she could pick up from where I left off or reiterate what I've said.
Yeah.
She has a son who is in prison on remand. He has a medical condition, and he was trying to get medical attention. It turns out that it is cancer. And he can't get, they won't send him to the doctor.
It was cancer, not cancelled. Somehow I thought I heard you said cancel.
Cancer.
Cancer, okay.
He has cancer. And in order to get to see a doctor, they had to get his lawyer to file a case in court. And the judge then ordered them to take him to the hospital immediately. They ignored the judge. And they took him 3 days later. Right? As we are speaking now, COVID is in the prison. And they have told the prisoners, when the prisoners get tested and they discover that they have COVID, they tell them, do not tell the officers. Because if the officers know, they will not come to work, and then they got locked in the prison. And if they got locked in the prison, then they can't go to the hospital, they can't go to any country. So the people are afraid to tell the officers who are supposed to look out for them, meaning that you are putting the officers in harm's way. When you tell the prisoners, when you frighten the prisoners and tell them, don't tell the officers because it can be bad for you. So prison officers are going to work and working with COVID positive people and not knowing. This prison authorities, government, all of them, whoever doing it, are monsters. You cannot expect people to do that. Right? This her son has to get a special diet. But the diet in the prison is rice or macaroni. One day you get rice, next day you get macaroni. Then nothing else. And again, today, the lunch came at 4:45. You know? They people, they're hungry whole day. From breakfast on the 4:45, you get lunch. At 4:45, you don't call it lunch anymore. You know what I mean?
That's dinner. So they're really giving them 2 meals a day.
Well, some ain't getting none. Because what they produce, people can't eat.
You know, I just want to say something here, Mr. Franklin, as you go on, because sometimes we seem to, fail to understand that people are people. And those persons in the prison, they have a heart beating in their chest. And yes, they have done wrong, which is why they're incarcerated. But the prison, we are told, it's supposed to be a place of rehabilitation. And there are still laws that govern how prisoners are treated. And a situation like this, which is, I'm hoping the mother comes on, this is something for the international press to be made aware of. You know, we hear the minister who is, he's minister, I can see his face right now. What's the name of the minister in charge again, Mr. Franklin?
Abrams.
Abrams, right. Wilfred Abrams. If you're listening, or those of you who listen on his behalf, you need to let him know that there's a human rights violation issue happening in the prison. And us in the Caribbean, we need to stop thinking, oh, well, the person was charged for whatever reason, and therefore they need to die for hunger in there. That's the kind of mentality that we have sometimes. Well, go ahead, Mr. Franklin.
You know, I'm this same patient. I'm sorry, but he's a patient too because he has cancer. He has, as I told you, he has a special diet. So his special diet for breakfast in the morning, they give him half pack of biscuits and peanut butter. And tea. Sometimes the tea is just a cup of hot water because I got nothing to make tea with. So you get biscuits and peanut butter and hot water some mornings. This is what they are doing. That is torture. I don't care what you did to cause you to be in there. You should treat them like that. They're human beings too. And I'm sure that if any of their sons were in there, they wouldn't want this treatment for them. You know,
Talk about the cybercrime bill. If that comes into effect and they decide to put people like myself or you in there for 7 years, that is the treatment that we would have inside there. But go ahead, Mr. Franklin.
No, the people can't get medical tests. As a matter of fact, there's no Panadol in the prison all right now. You got 1,000 people locked up and I got Panadol. Panadol, I could go by some pharmacy and buy a whole set of paracetamol or things like that for them if they want. Could there, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Right? And what is troubling is that sometimes patients are sick and they have to get tests. But the hospital can put you back for months and you can't. And so they tell you, they call the family and say, but look, if you want your son or your father or your uncle or whatever it is be treated, make an appointment with an outside doctor, go and pay him, and then when you secure that appointment, we will take the president down to see the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
No. You got me locked up in jail. If I am sick, you got to take care of me. Why should my family now have to go and source a doctor? You know, and then you have to pay for it. These people are in the government's care. The government must take care of them, and taking care of them means their medical needs as well. But obviously their food needs, but they're not getting that. Right? Imagine the doctors don't come to prison too often, so a fellow is sick and they do a Zoom meeting and check the patient on Zoom. I'd want to know you can take my pulse on Zoom, you know. I'm still trying to find out. You know, if doctors come and do it and check your pulse and that kind of thing, and listen to my lungs with this stethoscope or whatever it's called, how are you going to do that on Zoom? But doctors are getting paid to do that, you know. You treat these people like animals. What? And also, I thought it was the courts have ruled that you cannot punish people by death. This same young man, the family provides snacks for him because, you know, the food, they ain't got no food. So they provide some things. And, of course, when you snacks are good currency. And if you got them, the fellas want from you, they attack you and try to take them away. But he had to fight them off, and they lock him up for fighting them off and put him on a deck of a slice of bread and water. Mind you, you're not supposed to give people bread and water in Barbados today. The courts have said that is cruel and inhuman punishment, but they're still doing it. And he get punished for trying to secure his snacks because everybody don't get them. And I understand, because a fella hungry, not I believe they should go and do it, but I understand the motive. He's hungry, you got food, and they bring things that I can't eat. You got something that I can't eat. A fella, and especially if I with a criminal mind, you can try to get it. So you're exposing people. This prison in Barbados is a national disgrace. And to top it all off, rather than buy food, they're buying new uniforms for the prison officers who don't need new uniforms, a new design uniform, because they got over 20 bolts of material, big bolts of material to make the uniforms that they got to rent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you're not feeding prisoners, you're not giving them medical attention, and the list goes on and on and on and on. And then you have to, people lose, one fellow lost about nearly 50 pounds in 3 months in the prison. It is so bad.
Conditions in there. You know, Mr. Franklin, I would really love for her to come on, and I know you are articulating what she would have said to you. But I'm wondering if you I'm going to, I see Patricia Cox there. and I'm going to interview her. She's a citizen, and we're going to interview her. And in the meantime, can you see if we
I
can?
can. I will call her. I will put
Yes,
myself
yes,
on mute and call her.
yes. Okay, yes. You can go on mute and see. Let's see if we can get her on, because there's some people in that are saying, is it really true? And one of the things I can tell you is that we do our very, very best to bring you truth. Mr. Franklin would have spoken to her. He and I would have spoken today before he came on the show and said, Marcia, this is the situation, and so on. And we do our best. Sometimes it's not so, and we come and we apologize. But we're not going to. I know for sure. I'm not going to come here or encourage any of the panelists to come and sit on here and tell it and make up fables. All right. Okay. So, Miss, let me just welcome Patricia Cox on the program tonight. Patricia Cox is a citizen of Barbados, and she made, she just took up her phone, and she did a little Facebook video. And very small. It's not even that. It's a very, very small. Um, just a little video that she did, and I happen to have seen it today. And Patricia is one of those who come out to help us on Saturdays on the march, and she helps us with the marshalling our people, etc., etc. And I wanted just to show them a little bit of the video. I don't know if Dave has that to show them just a little bit of the video. Yes, Dave? No, we don't have it. Okay, so we're getting that together, because the reason I want to show the video, I want to show you guys that use what you have, use social media, use your phone, use your laptop, use what you have. Everybody get in this fight. Barbados belong to all of we. It's all of we. All right. All of us, we are citizens here, and we stand up. That's how we started out the show, talking about everybody taking national responsibility, taking personal responsibility. Important. And this is Patricia Cox taking responsibility. And this is a little bit of her video. We'll just show a little bit of it.
Good evening, good afternoon to everyone. My name is Patricia, yeah, and I have a little grievance with something that I heard on television. It was either last night or night before, and I've had it bothering me for a while. But last night it came up, or night before they said it came up. Minister Abrams got on television, and he
Yeah.
was talking and saying that ministers haven't gotten a raise in allowances. It hasn't changed for some, I can't remember the exact year. I was just passing and I happened to hear it. And they have gotten a raise in allowances for quite a while. And I began to list the allowances. My thing is, what allowances first thing? You work for the most money as a minister, as a government worker, and I mean ministers in general. You work for the most money of all the government workers. You work for 5 years and you get a pension. I got to work how many years to get a pension before I retire? And if you only work 5 years, your party is out or in, you still get a pension. And you telling me you want an allowance? You work for the most money. And I don't know what other perks you get besides your allowances. But here is my thing. And this is not, especially in this time, allowances for meals. What meals? You work for a salary. You work for a salary. You're supposed to serve the public, not the public serve you. That's what politicians do. When I got this thing backward and got it wrong. You work for a salary just like us and more money. Understand? And this is not BLP or DLP, this is government on the whole. Because this ain't no starch. Okay? You work for a salary and you tell me you want meal allowance and you making noise saying that we didn't get a raise since whenever. So what? You should even get it in the first place. You work for enough money to take it from your salary. You don't need an allowance. It's not a salary. It's a perk. You don't need it. Telephone allowance. Especially in this time, what telephone allowance? They got Wi-Fi and they got Zoom, WhatsApp call. What telephone allowance do you need? None. Travel allowance for where? For where? If you're traveling, government paying for it, okay, so be it. In the first class, come in the back with me and sit down. Come in the back with me and sit down. Be in a seat where you gotta move, let somebody pass and get up because you serving me, not I serving you. That's what have me so angry. You want meal allowance and a raise in meal allowance, and people out there suffering can't even get a meal for one day, and you want people to carry up to increase meal allowance? Come on, man, have a heart. That is selfishness. That's being inconsiderate. And I've always said this. As I said, it's not about government or it's not about party. It's about government in general. Women are telling themselves. People out there suffering can't get a meal. Somebody got to go and cook and serve food on the road. Nearly every night to feed victims or people who don't have food, and you making noise because you don't get a raise in meal allowance. Man, please, man, you put TV talking foolishness. I think it is unfair and an insult to come and tell we the public that you want a raise in meal allowance, travel allowance, entertainment allowance. What entertainment? Who you gonna entertain? If you got to use out of your own money, make enough money to do it. You're making enough money to entertain whoever. Who would have got entertain? Taking my money to entertain, and when I get a raise, then I can't but enjoy it because tax getting hit, NIS get hit with NIS and tax one. When we get a little raise, things the market gone up. We even know to be get there and see, oh shoot, this has gone up by $1? Yeah, or $2? Yeah, because I hear that we get a raise. Gas money. Gas gone up, and my spending power inch.
Let's hear her. She's right here, right here with us. So let's hear her. Pat, I see you there. You're watching this thing, and I listened to it, and I could feel your passion, you know. And I asked you to come on because I want people to understand. You don't have to be a politician. You don't even have to have interest in politics to speak. You know what you're watching it. What's going through your mind as you're watching it? Good night.
I'm thinking how inconsiderate and it's an insult to us. You know, and you are saying it as you are making sport out of people of Barbados. We know people out there who are suffering, Marcia. They are suffering. They don't have enough food to eat. They have to send school children every day. How they get met? Had not for school meals, some families would not eat. Some children would not eat. And you're making noise for an increase in your. I think that's an insult to the public of Barbados. To get on TV and say openly, and nobody ever addressed it. I'm a concerned citizen. That hurt me. It's years now, but you know, I never said anything. Just pick me talk about it, maybe around your circles. But no is no time to speak out because you want to carry everything up. Things are already so hard for Barbadians, and the only body who seem to be getting through is the government, the ministers. I don't think it is fair that we see people every day, Marcia, who are on the road. You may have to give them a little bit to get something to eat. People cooking for them. And the ministers in checking, they only care about how big they get. And half of them going, we can see it, right? Half of them going to politics into the post normal size and quick. They don't have fatter people. Everybody get big and fat because they eat. No, I'm serious because they're eating and living large. And people, the public suffering, and them don't care. So then you have your meetings. You have your town hall meetings or relative election, you in people's face wanting to vote. And you forget when a year this man was hungry, they don't check for the man, but you come to get a little $5 bill and he feels so happy that he get this money, he can give you a vote, hoping that he get more money during the year. And when you get the X and you forget about that. We live in large. I can't take that. It's not fair to the people of Barbados. Some people don't know because they don't know what happened up there in those circles. So they're going along just suffering every day. Because I happen to be on the campaign trail already, and I've heard people even say they don't even see the ministers. They don't even see the ministers. And certain areas they don't go in because the masses not there, the masses in a certain section, so they hit the masses. Don't see the minister. The time you don't come on my doorstep, I don't want to see nobody, because they just fed up and tired. But yet you get in, you even look back, Mark, somebody help you up and you kick ladder down. You're not helping anybody else but yourself. And you get and talk on TV, on town hall meetings, like if you care. You come into the neighborhood, get on whatever media you want to use, whatever social media you want to use, and act as though you care. It's only a show. How many people in Barbados are suffering? And listen, do the math. I don't know how much the allowance is, but say for example, it is $200 a month. It's for meal allowance. 200 by 12. Somebody help me. People who know math better than me. 200 by 12. Okay, that's a whole year. And that's only one minister. One minister. And the higher you are in government, the more perks you will get. So we're talking bottom down here. So now, understand? So 200 is just an example. I don't know how much it is. It could be more. And that's only meal, telephone, allowance, telephone, meal, entertainment, and whatever else it is. So if you take all of them multiplied by 12, do the math, and that's one. How many in parliament? How many got up in there? How many they have? Come on. What allowances do you need? And people are suffering. It won't stop it. And nobody can see that it won't stop it. No government minister, prime minister can see that it won't stop it.
But
If you want to cut back on the bills, cut back on that. See how much money you will save in a year.
Yeah, Miss Cox, let me ask you something. You've been living in Barbados all of your life, right? People are saying that they're seeing more beggars on the streets. No, more homeless people on the streets. No.
Yes.
That? What is that your experience? Is that what you're seeing? What is so different? What are some of the other things you are seeing as a citizen? You go to work every day. You come home. You go to town. You go to Warrens. You go. What is it that you're seeing that's so different?
People, supermarket. That's the biggest thing, Marcia. The supermarket is a big bill for all families. All families. There are some people who can't work because medically they can't work. So you have to depend on welfare. So you have to go to the supermarket. You may have children that you have to support and take to school. So that is one problem that I see already where the food bill is so high, Marcia. Before a tin of corned beef was just everyday food for the poor man. Now it's a luxury. $8 for tin of corned beef. Here, Marcia?
$8.
$8 for tin of corned beef. Yes, sardines. Oh my goodness, they ain't a poor man food no more. All food expensive. So the only time you put it in the basket, because it's expensive, Marcia. And the corned beef salty. So you have high blood pressure. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Another expense, Dr. Bill. So you need to put different things in the food basket.
And look at Sean. Look at what Sean is
make
saying.
It affordable.
Look at Sean is saying is that the supermarket bill is $1,800 per month for a family of 3. It's rough.
And I bet you Sean is working. So the ones that barely making it, Marcia, that barely making it, the low income workers, barely, and have some, Marcia, have some that are middle income workers, and it's hard on them. It is hard because I have to take care of the mother, the elderly parents. Maybe somebody in house ain't working, you gotta handle them as well. And it's only your one working.
Yeah.
It is hard. So you take up the salaries and the food bill go up and go up. It still stays here. My spending power has not changed, or maybe has gotten worse. So when you come and give me 3% tax and NIS out, it's still back to square one because prices gone up.
Yeah.
I put gas in my car. It feels as though I put in anything because, oh my goodness, it's not lasting.
It just
That's
comes.
my
So
that's my
you're
grievance with,
feeling it.
and
You you
and see that happening all the time. And then you
uh-huh.
get on television and you talk, and so you had a little smirk on your face, you making sport at the Republic of Barbados.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know Marcia, you better get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know, if you don't do the mass. I called
Edwin
3
is saying that
allowances.
you haven't even talked about the bill. So we were just talking about the food bill, and
Mhm.
but then because food, that's the
That's
basics.
the most important bill, All the rest are important, but food, you need food to survive. You know what you have to and feed your children. You can't stand your children hungry. You can't stand to see your children hungry. You may go hungry for a day, but when you see your children hungry, Marcy, you can do whatever to support your children.
Mm-hmm. Somebody
You
saying
know?
here this bear ramming as that they're feeding their children for 99 cents, and this is
That
what.
is one thing to put in the food basket, right? That killing children. You know how much salt? Have you ever tasted ramen? You ever smell it? If you smell the monosodium glutamate, whatever is that in it, it is so strong. And what happens with those things, Marcia, as a health person, you get addicted to it.
Mm-hmm.
You get addicted to it. That's what it is. It has something that makes you addicted to it. So you keep craving these things. And then another problem, another bill, diabetes, hypertension, something, another doctor bill.
Yes.
And you tell your children that.
Wow. Wow.
So when it's a ripple effect, it's a ripple effect. And with all that we are dealing with, you come to tell me you want a raise allowance. Marcia, I don't know if the public that hear me can see how unfair and how they're making mock sport at the people of Barbados for an allowance. An
Yeah.
allowance. And they only call 3. I don't know what other perks they get in there. You're going away to government business. Okay, you want to fly first class. What first class? You taking my money to fly first class, come in the back next to the toilet and sit down party sitting down in the back seat. Next to me in the aisle, you gotta move to let somebody get up. Cause you serving me. Don't take my money to do nonsense with. Let somebody in Barbados get a meal. I was up basically on last week. I saw people cooking food for the vagrants. A religion. I won't call who they are.
Don't call them these are
And say,
homeless. There's a lot of the people they just don't have anywhere
yes.
to live. So let's yeah.
And they
Mhm.
said they cook for different people. They go to different areas, different times of the week or the month, and they serve food. So they don't only stay to Bay Street. I know I used to do it in town as well. So people are trying, you taking
Mhm.
your money to try to serve people, and the minister won't take it there to serve himself. That's what had me
Yeah.
so angry. And you want to get and make a point. That's what I make a point about.
Mhm.
You're
Yeah.
making a
Yeah.
point about that up and sign up and you're making a point about that. I'm gonna show it on CBC. I got
Mhm.
bigger issues though. Bigger
Yeah.
issues for CBC than that.
But the thing
You
is,
laughing at me.
there's a comment here. There's a comment here, and thank you so much for coming on. But there's a comment here. I think Dave had put it up where the people, someone was saying that they're telling the government that the ministers who are listening, because they do listen. Trust me, they do listen.
I'm glad
That
they're listening.
that really I think what you're really saying, Miss Cox, is that the people are reaching a boiling point. What if you were sitting here and you could speak to these ministers, the 29 of them? What would you say to them?
Have a heart. Be considerate. Allowance is nothing for you if the salary you are getting. If you can take that allowance and say, I don't want any of them, because if I want me money at the best or to what salary I get, and you work for more than me, well, you can't do the same. That if you have to write an oath every time you get into government to say, I am here to serve you. Therefore, you don't need an allowance. That same money can be taken and from every minister, food, telephone, entertainment, whatever else it is to get in, take it out. At the end of the year, see how much money you make. You can help the people of Barbados to live, to eat something. Not you living off of me. Because it's show that you don't care. Have a heart and show people at Barbados that you care. Don't come in the face when election time coming for an X. Don't get in parliament and laugh at me behind doors after you done make you little things, you little writings. Don't put up face, show me that you feel that you care, you don't care, because that is saying that you don't care about us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is really really sad. And there's another video that throughout the night. I hope I'm trying to find that young lady. She's 25 that she put up, and I think what you are saying is what people are feeling in their homes, and they're too afraid to say it. And that's one of the reasons I asked you, Miss Cox, to come on and to share your thoughts, because I could feel it. I could feel it was the performance.
Yes.
You were very hurt by it, because I know
I am very hurt.
You have the
You have
homeless.
no idea, Marcia.
Yeah.
You have no idea how hurt I am. I wish I can help these people to give them something to help. And when I can, I do. When I can, I help them. But I can only do so much with my little money that I get in.
Yes. Yes, it's not easy. It's not easy. Well, Miss Cox, thank you. Thank you for coming on. And I'm gonna stay. We're gonna stay in touch. And I think people. There's one person who say they eat a good meal on Sundays. I want us to listen. And then people who are trying to say that people trying to make a fuss and make trouble in the country. It's real. It's
Very
real.
real.
It's very real. Please have some compassion. Thank you so much, Ms. Scott. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Yes. Yes. Caswell, before I move into the video that's on, and there's Winston that's on as well. Did you get through to the young lady, to the lady?
Yeah, apparently her Wi-Fi is giving some. So what she's going to do, she's going to get somebody to send data to her phone, and she's at work now, so she will take a break at 9 and access the data. Hopefully the person will get on by then.
Yes. Okay. All right.
I was exploring the other possibility of speaking on her phone to you, and you can put your phone there.
Right, you were working on that. No, Dave, bring back. I think we just bring back that video, because I think it is the both of these two videos. They are made, Mr. Franklin, from citizens, and they might not have all the understanding of how anything works, but they're speaking about how they're feeling. So let's just listen to this little one. I think it's short, and then
it's just 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Dave, please. Thanks.
Is it just me? Like every day I just feel like hopping on a plane and going somewhere else. Let me not say I can't stand Barbados. I just feel like Barbados is not really like a progressive place. It's like everybody in one box, and everybody don't try to like be progressive. They don't got much programs and in different things. Just for me, Barbados is for people that want to come and retire. To me, Barbados is a retiring country, right? Barbados ain't fast-paced and youthful, and I ain't old, even though I'm 25, but I ain't that old. Barbados ain't like youthful and fast-paced and getting to the money on, like the girl to say.
No motherfucker will. So I get my money on, and I ain't playing, and it's gonna anything go.
Like everybody just content and okay with just getting by. Everybody content. Everybody is sit down. A person is sit, oh, they don't let their job, they can sit down and cry about their job all day, but don't do nothing. Like everybody just sit down and shut them out and just do what they feel like doing. It's modern day slavery at the end of the day. Like Barbados real slow pace. Like, and for a person that been out the country, Barbados is slow pace. Very slow pace. And again, let me not even get into the rant about the government. That got nothing to do with me. It got everything to do with me, but it still ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't even want to rant about the government right now. I was coming down and I hear them talking about some millions of dollars that them get. Like if them talking about the millions of dollars, like if the millions of dollars was gifted to them, not like if them borrow the money and got paid back plus interest. Them talking like if, oh, this is money that, yeah, we worked hard for and it was gifted to us. The money ain't gifted to us. The money gotta get paid back, which means the country in debt. But anyways, that's another thing for another time. I'm talking about that too much. I get into this in a politics channel. This is fun and learning. Me and dealing with that.
you know, but it's I thought someone sent it to me and I literally sat and listened to it. And she's 25, and this is why a lot of them are leaving the country. It's very sad to say that. You know, I know one of our sons. You know, he's trying every way not to have to leave Barbados. He loves Barbados. But at this stage, what is he going to do when he realizes that there's nothing here for him? And that is sad. I don't know about you, but something like that makes me sad. You know, but let me go to Winston. We're doing some drive-bys tonight. So Winston, thank you for coming on for a few minutes. We can have you on for much longer. I know I drag you on to talk about the WHO, the treaty, the pandemic treaty that's supposed to be signed tomorrow. I don't know, is the treaty even? I don't know if they were able to put it together. I know that there was some issue with it, but do you have anything to tell us on that? You're muted.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes,
okay,
we're hearing you. Welcome.
All right. Yeah, there were some issues as far as the treaty was concerned. And if you remember, one of the people who helped suggest it was Boris Johnson from the UK when he was Prime Minister. Yes. And now the Britain has said that they are not signing until it is something that can be beneficial to them. All right. But you also have Russia and their allies who have not signed it. You have Eritrea, you have Bosnia, you have Zimbabwe, Belarus, Bolivia, Chile, and then there are some other countries throughout the Caribbean who have been apprehensive about the signing. So they've not been able to get the full complement they require. All right. And if you remember, this treaty is so that the WHO can be in charge overall, universally, over the preparedness, the medication, to be able to institute and say, well, this is a pandemic, and what each country should do, have overall say as far as health is concerned. You know what I'm saying? And we should be able to have learned our lesson from what transpired just a couple of years ago. All right, with what happened there. And they are still insisting, you know, that they be the dictator over how countries should deal with any issues or so-called issues they have relevant to illnesses or what they want to call a pandemic. That's what they're doing. All right. And we need to stand up. But I'm seeing that the RPM was given an award. And I want people to look at that. I want people to really.
I don't know if Dave has it, he can put it up, but
what people really look at that. All right. I see that she was given an award, and people are wondering, they're saying it because of her leadership in health.
So what was the award? Let's tell the people what the award was.
It
was from the World Health Organization that gave her an award, and if somebody could just send it. It's so much in my phone and I can't find it at the moment. I had it all. I think I know where it is. But this is an award that she won. I don't know how many persons, but go ahead, Winston. Tell us anything you know about.
It's dealing with leadership. Somebody who exhibited leadership in health, in the as far as health is concerned, throughout the countries, etc. Right? And all that happened is that she complied with what they wanted. That's all that happened. You understand? That's it in a nutshell. And that she has signed on to whatever initiative or whatever programs they want to initiate. That's it in its entirety. You understand? She is at the forehead when it comes to the countries in the Caribbean, as far as getting them to sign on to the initiatives of the World Health Organization.
But can I ask a question? What has she done? I can't see what is tangible, honestly, about what she.
What she has done is, if you remember, what she did relevant to listening during that pandemic, what she did. You understand? You can remember what she did. There were certain directions and the lockdowns and all the treatments, and I think a
Oh,
lot
so
of
they're
people
saying that they're saying she did it to the book then, and because we
to
were
the book,
so we
to
we
the book.
we were
Let
we
me
were so yes, because she had us dotage behind her and wanted to create safe zones, and so she was the worst in the Caribbean. I got it. Okay.
she is the one who spearheaded everything as far as the Caribbean is concerned. All right. So obviously, and I want to keep reiterating this point, right? I want us not to become complacent when we see that when things we fight against, issues that we fight against. All right. When we see them back a little, and I don't want us to become complacent and say we've won, because we haven't won. What they do is they come back with it in from a different perspective. All right, they're doing the same thing. The child protection bill, they're coming back with it. The digital IDs, they're coming back with them. All these things because she has been given instructions. And I listened to Patricia just now, and she spoke about caring. We have to be realistic. We have to be pragmatic. They do not care about us. You understand? I am being factual. They do not care. All the PM cares about is her publicity as far as the outside world is concerned, and carrying out their initiatives. That is what she cares about. She cares nothing about us. If you notice what is being done now, no ICC is coming. It is for the international press to see what she has done. We were asking for these things to be done a long time ago. It can only be done because international event is coming here. You understand? She cares nothing about us. They make remarks, disparaging remarks about Barbadians, and say the money's short, the hand to mouth. They pretend to care about people. You understand what I'm saying? They make and we can't even pronounce the medications, and we talking about them. All these disparaging remarks, and then she said they're able to say you hand to mouth because they control a little party and thing, and they're gonna come out and they're gonna enjoy themselves and they're gonna forget about it. And these same people are going home, can't pay the bills, can't buy food, can't get a proper pension, and all of this. Look at this. Look, you understand? This award she's given for marching, for standing in line, for doing exactly what they want. She cares nothing about us. Be realistic. She cares nothing about Barbadians. She cares about jetting off. I even tell you, I can show how she doesn't care. Remember, I spoke about the fire in Nelson Street. She wasn't there. She didn't come down and look at the people. There was a fire in the plane. The representative for the plane just passed through. She didn't stop and speak to the people. You understand? These people don't care about us. They care about their salaries, achieving what they want to achieve. You understand? And to hell with us. When election time, they will come and soap us so they can get more money out of us. And that is the bottom line. That is the bottom line. This pandemic treaty, we have to stand up very seriously about this pandemic treaty, you know. And not they will do the same thing to us again. These people allowed a manufacturer to come and experiment on Barbadians, treat them like guinea pigs with something. You understand? Before they tried it on their own people, only to find out a couple of years after that it is no good and it causes death and illness. You understand? That is what these people allowed. And I feel all I know we should be suing them and suing them left, right, center, all the people that publicize with all of them want suing. And we need to stand up seriously and stand up boycott some places and shut down this place. I'm serious. I would like the whole world to know. You see my ICC come in? I myself will love the whole. I'm going to do videos like mad. They can go and take me off the road. I can do videos like mad. Everybody see on the road. I can let them know what these people have been doing to Barbadians. Right? Caldo, you spoke about prison. All right? And I can speak firsthand. Okay? You spoke about I receive calls every day from on the security area of the prisons. When those guys started their hunger strike, they told me, right? Those guys, rice. When you know, you've got, we just call the star boy. The star boy of the picture is rice. You understand? They receive no health benefits. And I want people to realize something. right? A lot of the guys in there, some of them are only accused. You're supposed to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. And some of these people, because of being an association, are in there. A lot of them are innocent. I know that for a fact, right? A lot of them have committed crime. But you remember, the most of the people who commit crime are recidivists, right? And when you treat people bad, they have a retribution mode they go into, because they come up with a mindset and send me somebody and pay for how they get treated. You understand me? And what they're doing is no rehabilitation. When you treat people, it'll treat them. You provide them with certain privileges. Right now, they can't see their loved ones. A remanded prisoner is entitled to see their loved ones once a week. That's 2 times a month. No, for them, right? Okay. The those who are doing time, they can see once. All right, once a month. Okay. Well, at one point in time, a remanded prisoner, if their family can afford it, they are allowed to have meals brought in. They cannot be a burden. They don't have to be a burden on the prison, right? That has been stopped altogether. All right. What they're doing is they're feeding them this hogwash. They're feeding them, which has little or no, and it weakens them. It weakens them, and it is alleged they put something in the food also. I want you to know also that there is TB within the prison. I want the people to hear me because they know this for a fact. You understand? There's TB in the prison, and some of them are stating that it is COVID. Some, okay, but there is also COVID. You understand me? That is in the prison. All right, and these people are very, very lax as far as the medical authorities are concerned in there. You understand? I know for a fact that people have died in there because of appendicitis at birth, and the medical authorities say, oh, it's just gastro, and appendix bursts and people die in prison. It has happened on more than one occasion. Let them put me in court. I can prove it. You understand? Let them put me in court. All right? These people are ill-treating people, and they're creating monsters in there because the guys come up with a mentality of something else. There's no rehabilitation and correction. You understand? Because people tend to believe that prison is a place for punishment. That's not true. The courts are who do the punishment. When they deprive you of being able to vote, they take away your freedom, take away the fact that you can see your family, and put you in some place. You understand? That is the punishment. What prison is supposed to do is correct whatever it is you are doing, and correct it and rehabilitate you so you can become a productive member of society. They are not doing that. They're animals up there. Here, I'm telling you this because they know. Speak to these guys on a daily basis, and I have been through it. I know what I'm talking about. You understand me? It takes a strong person to come out and turn their life around. You understand? And these people are creating monsters out there. All right? All right.
Well,
Marcia,
yeah,
I am very caught up with this. You see, when it comes to the whole injection thing and the pandemic thing and dealing with the prison and rehabilitation, I am very, very, very serious about that. Very, very, very serious.
Yeah. It is, Mr. Franklin, and anything you want to say about this pandemic treaty and this award that they have given this prime minister? And I want to say something to all of us that's watching. There are 866 of you who are watching. I would say to you, just Google and go and do a research and check to see what this prime minister has done in the area of health. Go, and when you found it, you send it to me, 2367000. Show me what she has accomplished on the world stage in the area of health and how she has helped the world in the area of health to receive this award. This award here for leadership in health. Let me know what she has done. Research it, because I might be wrong. But let me know what is our, you can research Mother Teresa and you will be able to see how many people she fed and all the things she's done. Do a search for me, please, about this Prime Minister Mia Mottley and health in the world, and let me know. Go ahead, Mr. Franklin.
The Prime Minister rightly deserves her award, in their opinion, because she did everything that they wanted her to do. Whether it was in the best interest of Barbados or not, she did it. So they are rewarding some person, like what the people call Uncle Tom's, well, Auntie Mia. she has sold us out. And when I spoke about it before, I got a letter from her father threatening to sue me. And I didn't get anything at my tail yet. But I will repeat. When those jobs came to Barbados, we were the first people in the world to get the ones from India.
That's right.
We were the very first. They were here in Barbados waiting. Now, she has such great influence that not even Modi, who is the Prime Minister in India, could get vaccines before her. No, we were guinea pigs. So when the WHO wanted a fool, they picked her because she's a useful idiot. You know, she's there grinning, and first thing, look, I feel like a picture good. Like she's so proud that she even did her hair. You know, she's happy. You know, this is the reward you give to the Uncle Tom. You sold your people out. When Biden said that if the countries get 70% of their population jobbed up, they're going to benefit from a fund that he will provide. And you would have heard her saying, "We want 70%. We want 70%." They're fighting for 70%. But that's coincidental? No. She was following the dictates of the international community because we were a small control community. We weren't going anywhere. So we would have stayed here and people could use us for case studies and all kind of nonsense. That is what she's been rewarded for. And now, with the pandemic treaty, the World Health Organization wants now to have almost absolute control in the event that they'll make up another pandemic. And you will then have to follow their directives. Whether the country wants or not, because you will have signed on the treaty, there will be like an overarching government. Not one of them have been elected by anybody in the world. But then they want to have so much power over the people of the world when nobody in the world, other than the politicians that can sign, want to give that. No. I didn't elect them. And I will fight it to the bitter end. If government comes down here and tell me any nonsense about World Health Organization treaties that we're going to sign on to, no, they must come first and tell the people of this country what it is all about. They have not done it so far with anything. They sneak these things through the house. And if people are not vigilant, we will suffer. We are suffering the effects of those things that came from India that were here long before anybody else got them. We are getting people who know, you're seeing a lot of young people who are walking around the place like zombies. And a lot of distress because they went and take, at the urgings of the Prime Minister. And a few people, I've seen doctors who were opposed to this thing. I remember Dr. Lord. At first, he was not supporting the vaccines. And then all of a sudden, he came out.
Watch your language. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Then he came out, and he was one of the biggest champions for them. And he is on the front line and all kind of nonsense. And no, I have not heard him or anybody else come out and say, we are wrong. We are sorry. We made a mistake. We were fooled. We were duped. You know, I have so much so that I don't want to go on the wrong them, you know. If I get sick, I don't know what to do. Because I can't trust the medical profession in Barbados now.
Right.
I can't trust them. Because they went on without any research, any knowledge, other than what people told them. They never checked anything for themselves. They just went out there selling, it's like selling drugs. You know, but they were selling them legally. That's the only difference. You know, a fella go up there, so he got some drugs in a little bottle of thing, and when you see police come, he pelted. Yeah, well, they didn't have to pelt there because they were doing it legally, but they were still peddling for the drug makers. They were still peddling for them without any knowledge. They don't know any of the interactions. They don't know anything about it because the interactions were secreted away from us. the manufacturers knew the adverse effects, didn't tell us anything about them because they wanted to become multi-billionaires. And people just keep throwing the money at them and be begging them. I remember the Prime Minister of St. Lucia begging them to experiment for St. Lucia because they were a small society and they can you can let's see the effects on St. Lucia. But thank God he's gone. You know, but we have this kind of mentality, and our politicians don't have enough pride in themselves to think for themselves. Mind you, I don't know if the Prime Minister can think for herself. Because I've not heard her say anything original. She just pokes off a lot of cliches and all kind of crap. And people think she's eloquent. Listen to her carefully already that she's talking rubbish. Yeah. And as a result, a lot of people have met an early grave. And this country had said to them, and the former Prime Minister has said to them, that if you take the vaccine and you do it
you take the joke, you take the joke,
and you die, we will help you. She said that. She was stupid enough to say that. But if you don't take it, she ain't not gonna help you. You remember that? She promised to help dead people if they had if the adverse effects ended up being death. Because she just likes to talk pretty. The same way she just get up and talk and don't think about it. Because if she were thinking, I would not have my favorite song right now, Marcia.
Yeah. But look on the screen. Look on the screen. Which of these I saw Lumumba had a this on his Facebook, Lumumba. And the Marcia, you're leading the witness. Just allow her to speak. I don't know what am I doing. I don't know who you're talking about or what. But let me just say here that none of these persons here, as Lumumba said, have given a statement about this recall of this this juice that we were given, the AstraZeneca. There's nobody, none of these here. We haven't heard any. I haven't heard. I could be wrong. If anybody's heard anything from any of these here, none.
Not one of them.
A lot of them got made most honorable. The highest award in the country. Sorry, the second highest, because National Hero is the highest award. But these people get what was equivalent to knighthood for poisoning us and recommending poison. They don't know it is poison. I really feel they should hand back those awards.
But you know, somebody's making a very important point here. I can't even call her. I don't know. This PM is already there, so she's getting this award. We saw this today. She's probably over there already, getting ready to sign that treaty tomorrow. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, she can sign it for herself, because when they come to Barbados, when they make the next pandemic, because this pandemic was planned. They knew what they were doing. They knew what was going to happen. Because, mind you, listen to the various speakers. And they were saying that the world got too many people in them. So this was an attempt to kill people, you know. And we bought onto it. We only got 280,000 people, so we ain't got too many Barbadians. So he could have killed somebody. He could have killed the Americans and killed somebody else. But we went on because we had an idiot prime minister who wants to be up there as one of the big guns. You see, you know, she wants to be one of the big guns, and people are laughing at her because they realize that she ain't too sensible, and so whatever they come up with, she rushed with everything. Look at the legislation that we are saying. The cybercrime thing. You think that was homegrown? It wasn't, because identical provisions are in other countries that I had to point out to certain other people who shall remain nameless tonight. And I said, well, look, the same provisions are there. So this is something that the people in Barbados draft. I don't mind talking about the draft. They mean they're copied. You know, the only profession in the world that can copy things and get away with it is the lawyers. You know, if you had done it, Marcia, they would tell you it is plagiarism. They plagiarize that. There's no person plagiarize and bring it here and then make them believe, oh, it's homegrown. It wasn't homegrown, because a lot of the things, coincidentally, then in other jurisdictions, and the only thing changed is instead of saying $70,000, they say
As well, I have to
£70,000.
pause here to let you think. I am telling you, this is one night, Alvin. I don't laugh at your comments, but I have to laugh at this comment. Alvin said that the award is not for the PM; it is for us. And he had another comment and said, when I have to stop you because this is an example of, I don't know, Alvin, you're an intelligent man. How are you going to say who got the award? Who got the award? Think about it, Alvin, and you're going to say that when she lost election, she's not taking the award with her. What are you talking about? I'm concerned now, Alvin.
Alvin is getting misled. You know, in England, when you travel somewhere and go to another country and you get a gift.
Yeah.
The gift is for the country, unless it is something like £50. Over £50, you got to turn it in. The politician Barbados don't turn in anything. He is so ill-informed, it isn't funny. But his problem is that he thinks with his BLP and not with his head.
Oh my God! Oh my goodness! That is crazy. That is crazy thinking. Really, you just have to apply your. I go overseas. Why I laugh at it? I've won a lot of. Just not bragging, but I have won a lot of awards with film. And yes, they call Marcia Weeks from Barbados, and you win the award. But the award is right here in my house. It's my award. You understand? So you might win it on behalf of Barbados. We are not. It's at Barbados. They're collecting it. I don't know why people just. I don't know.
You just need to explain to Alvin that it is the same as if Obadeli went to the Olympics. He won the bronze medal on behalf of Barbados, but it's his bronze medal. It's not ours. Okay,
Yeah,
that's how it's done.
That's because that, for somebody to be thinking like that, I really, I'm a little shocked at Alvin. I'm shocked.
All right, the award is hers. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So, well, Winston, what I'll say is that, I'm thanking you so much for coming on tonight, and we're going to continue this discussion. Will be continued tomorrow, and we're going to try to do it in a safe way. I thank God for people like you, Mr. Corbin, the Bongolites, and the Mumba. And all of us who pushed against the safe zones in Barbados when they wanted the safe zones here, and all the work that was done in that period of time. And those of us who live it, we know what we experience here in Barbados. And thank God for all the other Caribbean islands that we connected with and what we were able to accomplish in that time. And we just need to let it be very known to the PM that she could be right there. You could get an award and you could sign, but you're going to sign for yourself, because you might as well stay over there with them, because the people are not going to follow you. They're not going to follow you with that nonsense. You understand? If England, who proposed it, don't want to sign it, right? Why is it now you got to get up, dress up, go over there, get an award, and let us see what you're going to do, because you always try to be the first one to do everything because you want to show off. That's what it is. Yeah.
All right. But, thank you, Marcy, for having me.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. Okay. Have a good night.
Yes. Thank you. God bless.
Okay, everyone. Bye-bye.
Mr. Franklin, what about the lady? Is she getting in as yet? You're muted.
No, I'm mute because I was speaking to her.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She said she is coming on in 5 minutes, but that was 2 minutes ago. So
yes, okay. So she's soon.
So I saw you look up for Ben. Her things appear on the thing. So that's what we could do right now.
Yeah.
Because she's adamant that she needs to speak about these things, because she's saying that people might not believe what I'm saying, and she wants to make sure. She's one of my members too, mind you. she's one of the people who got the guts to stick up with Unity Workers Union. Oh, by the way, just now when I was talking about Bra, one of the people at Bra just sent me a message to say, as well, let the public know that the staff are being blamed for not answering the phones. But when this commissioner came, she removed the landlines, gave people cell phones, and said the numbers cannot be given to the public. So when you are calling, there's no phone to answer. So not that the workers are not answering the phone, there's no phone. They were taken out. And the staff, people say, oh, the staff are answering the phone. They ain't got the phone. Progress. So she don't want, people are blaming them and say they're not answering phone, they're not answering phone. They're saying to us, they took out the phones and give you cell phones and say to them, don't tell the people the numbers though. Don't give the numbers.
Yeah.
So why would a government department that deals with people on a daily basis, every day, their business is dealing with the public, why would you not have phones for the staff to it's just that they don't care. They don't want you to bother them.
Yeah.
It seems as though that you are a bother. You are a bother when you are trying to look out for your rights, your taxes, your whatever you're looking for, and they take out the phones.
Listen, Mr. Franklin, I don't even know how to put it in words right now.
Yeah, you can. You can say, you can't make this thing up. They can't make this up. You know, you've got to be a really good fiction writer to come up with something like this. And people might believe that this is fiction because it sounds so bad or sounds so ridiculous. But we are speaking the truth, the whole truth, and nothing.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth. You know,
I double check to see when I have information because I don't want to come.
This is her. So she has our devices are not connected. I'm hoping that they get connected. And I want to say, Mr. Franklin, I hope I don't let you lose your thought, but as she's coming in, I just want to, you know, I've heard so much tonight. I want to say, Mr. Franklin, that I'm hoping that those of us who are on tonight, I know we didn't have a big crowd tonight because the DLP had their meeting in St. Michael this evening, which I was told was very successful. And I want to thank them for that because we need a change of government, however it comes, whether it's DLP, independent, whatever. We need a change. We need a DLP to be healthy, period. We need Lynette's party to be healthy. We need all of them to be healthy. In fact, we were showing so much of Lynette on our YouTube channel today. So we need candidates. But I want to say to everybody who's watching that on Saturday, Mr. Franklin, we're going out to march. Okay, I think she's ready. We're going out to march on Saturday. And if what you have heard here on this show tonight does not move you to come out, a lot of you are talking about shutting down the country. You want this country to shut down, but then you don't, you know, we have the marches, you don't come out. Some of you are on here, you've never been on a march, your devices are not connected again, you don't come out for any marches. This Saturday, guys, we need everybody out. I think she seemed to be ready. We need everybody out on Saturday to march. You hear what I tell you, folks? Because outside of that, we would not be able to do this. If that cybercrime goes, we can't even do this show. That's it. No.
I think she's trying to say something also.
Yes. Good night, ma'am. Good night, ma'am. Mr. Franklin, you want to go ahead and interview her? Go ahead, Mr. Franklin.
Good night. And thanks, Phil.
All right. Good night.
outside
and
of
thank
that,
you for
we
coming
would
on.
not
And I'm very grateful for you.
outside of that, we
Be
can't even
under,
do this show. That's
Okay.
it. No.
She has something playing in the background.
turn off your other devices that you might be listening to, and just use the phone that you have now.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So what has happened here? You would have heard me speak about problems at the prison, and you contacted me today to say that you have a relative in the prison, and that the things that I'm saying is true, but there are a lot more. So I would like you know to come and tell the public on this show your story.
Okay.
And
Good night.
you just go ahead and talk.
Good night, everybody. I am frustrated. I am at wit's ends. This is the last resort. I don't know who else to turn to or what else to do. I have a son who is on remand at a Tempe Dodge. When he first went in, 2 months after he went in, he became ill and he had difficulty in getting medical attention, even though he was reporting that he wasn't well to the prison authorities. For an entire year, his attorney wrote the prison trying to get medical attention for him, to no avail. It came down to the lawyer having to file an injunction against the prison for him to get medical attention 1 year later. After that happened, the judge ordered that they take him to the hospital immediately. That did not materialize until 3 days later, after the judge had given the order that he was to be taken to the hospital. Long story short, he had some tests done, and the test revealed that the doctors are suspecting that he has cancer. It is a battle for him to go to the appointments. It is one thing to the next. If it is the staff to take him, if it is the prison officials taking him to the hospital late, and when he get there, the oncology department is finished working. And as recently as 2 weeks ago, well, before that, he had to get a CAT scan, and he had to wait an entire year to get a CAT scan because I was unable to pay $2,000 for him to have the CAT scan done privately. However, after that, he was able to get the CAT scan done in March of this year. He was supposed to go back to the hospital 2 weeks ago to have the CAT scan results. And because he was tested positive 3 times while he was in prison for COVID, 3 times. The week coming up to Mother's Day, he was tested positive, and he was supposed to go to get the result for the CAT scan. After he refused to let them poke him in his nose again, they denied him the right to go to the hospital to get the results of the CAT scan. Food at the prison, there's no fruits, there's no vegetables. He said it is pork with hair on it. If it isn't pork with hair on it, it is macaroni, it is rice. In the morning, he's supposed to be on a special diet. On mornings, it is half pack of biscuits with peanut butter, sometimes tea, sometimes water. When they go to court in the morning. They leave the prison early, sometimes before 7, because the bus has to take the inmates to various courts. They have to stay hungry after appearing in court, probably just to get another remand date or to find out if the case is going to start. They remain hungry until they get back to the prison for the entire day. It makes no sense calling and complaining because you are meted out with some uncaring, inhumane people who believe that
even though he's on remand, that he's already guilty.
Mm-hmm.
You have to put money on the phone, and you have
Can you
I
hear
try
her?
my best to make sure he has money on the canteen and money on the phone. I try my best to make sure he has money on the canteen and on the phone, so that when the prison does not have anything to feed them, that he would have snacks and stuff from the canteen. He was attacked for his stuff, and when he fought back, he was punished. They said that he should not have fought back, and that is the reason why he was punished. He has a problem right now. The prison does not even have Panadols. He has a problem where he has an ear infection, and this is months now that he has been asking to see a doctor. When there is seldom a doctor available, the doctor is assessing them via Zoom. How can you assess a person via Zoom? It is, I don't know, but I dare the minister to come and tell me that what I am seeing tonight are lies and that it is not happening at HMP Darts. Something needs to be done with the way the inmates are treated at HMP Darts. And I don't mean next week. I don't mean next year. I don't mean next month. I mean now.
Wow, I can hear this mother's cry. And that lawyer, if it wasn't for the lawyer stepping in, that means which is telling us, Mr. Franklin, that something was being they were breaking the law, which is why they had to.
The injunction is still in place, and he is still having all the difficulties in the world to have his appointments at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, to go to the oncology clinic to find out what treatment he needs to start, what the CAT scan has showed. And because he refused to let them swab him, because he had only tested positive for COVID a week and a half prior to 2 weeks, and he said, well, I am still going to test positive, so it doesn't make sense letting you guys put the swab in my nose again. I'm tired of getting it pushed into my nose. I'm not taking it. They refused to take him to. Something needs to be done. The prison needs to be investigated, and I mean investigated independently, not by government officials. Independently.
You were telling me about having to get outside doctors.
If he has an appointment, there's, like I said, there are hardly doctors available to treat them. You have what they call you and tell you is there is a referral letter, or you would have to call the outside doctor. Then you, the parent or guardian, has to go and pay the outside doctor, and then the private doctor will contact the prison with the date and the time of the appointment, and then the prison officials will take him to the appointment. I am a taxpayer. I pay taxes, and I am poor. And these things should never be happening. They're there, they're innocent until proven guilty, but as long as you go to prison, you are guilty until proven otherwise. That is the way the authorities at HMP Darts behave.
Oh God. This is. I want to just ask if there's anybody listening. If you are very good at writing, we don't want to say everything we're going to do on this, because we know everybody listening. If you are good at writing, right, putting thoughts down.
Some days go by, they don't get a bath. Something as simple as a bath, they don't get a bath some days.
What about his shoes?
Oh, the shoes he's wearing, he doesn't have a pair of shoes. The shoes he's wearing, he has to wear the shoes that I provide for him to wear to court when he has to go to court. So he has to wear them in the prison or walk bare feet. So I asked him today how much the slippers, you have to purchase them from the canteen. You cannot carry anything to the prison. I asked him today how much they would cost, and he told me about $25 or $35. And I told him tomorrow I will put the money onto his canteen account so he can purchase the slippers from the canteen. Another thing is that parents and guardians are putting money onto these people, to these inmates' canteens list. When they get most of the items are expired. You pay your money for them, they are expired, and inmates are made to eat them. There's no recourse. When you call, everybody is turning you around and around and around and around, and they have no other choice because of hunger. They're forced to use the expired stuff from the canteen at Dodds Prison. Something needs to be done at Dodds Prison.
Oh my God! You hear this? What this lady is saying? If you can write,
This
if
is
you're
not
able
all.
to write,
This is only half of it. This is not even all. This is half of it. I have dates. I have times. After what I'm going to show you is that after the court ordered an injunction and they took him 3 days later, a week after that, he was ill. And I contacted the lawyer, and the lawyer contacted the prison and threatened legal action. Do you know what they did? The morning, 5 o'clock, they brought in a doctor to see him 5 o'clock the morning because he was going back to court with the injunction at 9 o'clock the morning. Had he not been going back to court that morning, he would not have seen a doctor. These things cannot be fair.
What about his diet? No, you mentioned that he's on a special diet.
Oh, he's supposed to be getting a special diet, and he is not getting that special diet. Like I told you, it is rice, macaroni. Some days there's no meat. He says even the utensils, the cutlery, the bowls they give them to eat out of, he said they smell, the food is bad, and the plates and stuff smells just as bad. You cannot eat from them. He's not getting the special diet. It is biscuits and peanut butter, a bread and peanut butter, sometimes from 8 o'clock in the morning. The next meal is at 4 o'clock in the evening. Today, I spoke with him, and he called, and because they're not able to see the time, they will call and ask a relative, what time is it? And when he asked me what time is it, and I told him it is now 4:45, he said, Mommy, I just got food 10 minutes ago. From 8 o'clock this morning, half pack of biscuits with peanut butter, until this evening, 4 o'clock, 4:45, roughly 4:45 is when he was now getting something to eat. How? Why?
wow. I'm speechless, Mr. Franklin. I'm speechless.
It isn't often I find myself at a loss for words, but you cannot treat human beings like that. You know, if I seen some person treating a dog like that, I'd call the RSPCA for them. You know.
But Mr. Franklin, is the same Wilfred Abrams that had the where they had the little girls tied up like an animal inside GIS. It's this same man. And you know, Miss McLean is here. She tell us don't call anybody name, but there's just one word coming in my mind for somebody like him. I'm not going to call him any name. But let me tell you, he is the same man. He is the same man. He has not changed. It's the same man that had the little girl tied up like an animal. That GIS here, he is heartless. He should never be a minister. You understand? And I'm telling you, oh my Lord of mercy.
You see, ministers are supposed to be responsible for the actions, things in their department. And when something like this happens, a minister should do the honorable thing and leave office. He has to go. But unfortunately, if he goes now, he might be an irritant. So the prime minister can keep him because she wants everybody to be happy. That is why she gives them all these fancy jobs, and who don't have a ministry or a consultancy, and as a result, you do not get anything going right in this place. This lady, I asked her to come on today because when she called me to confirm what I had said to you the show before, I said, well, it would be good if she would speak to the country, because hearing it from me is one thing, but hearing it from a mother who had to push him out, and who had to push him out. There's a different connection between mothers and children. I can feel for you. But she is hurting for him.
Yeah,
that's hers.
Listen, somebody's saying that we need the numbers. We need to put their numbers on blast and let the people WhatsApp them, email them, their email addresses. They need that all of that information needs to be out there, so that we can email Mr. Abrams and message Mr. Abrams.
Before she be lose her because she's using data, you were speaking about the COVID and telling the prisoners not to let the officers know. You mentioned
they told the prisoners, because they have bail hearings and stuff coming up, so they would be anxious to see if they're going to be granted bail, because everybody wants to get home. They take them to the medical unit. They're tested for COVID. If they're tested positive, the people in the medical unit are telling the inmates not to tell the prison officers that they are positive, because if they do, the prison officers will stay home, and the prisoners then will not be able to go to hospital appointments, bail application hearings, nothing like that. So therefore, they are being forced to keep their mouth shut. Other than that, the prison will be locked down, and you will not be able to get a bail hearing. You will not be able to go to the hospital. You will not be able to get any of your privileges, to use the phone, to call home, nothing. You will not be able to do anything. So therefore, they are forced to keep their mouth closed. And when he had COVID, not even Panadols the prison did not have to give him for COVID 2 weeks ago. Panadols, something as simple as Panadols, not even Panadols. And we are out here being fed that everything is A-OK, and that it is all doom and gloom and it's all rosy at the prison, and people are suffering. People are suffering up there. Yes, he is on remand, and he has no right being treated. None of them have any right being treated than less of a human being. It is inhumane, the treatment at dogs, and I am not going to sit down and listen to somebody come on the radio tomorrow and say that I am lying, because it would put my job in problems. But if that is what I have to do to prove to the public that it is no lie, then that is the step I will take.
Your job will not be at risk, because I promise you, you're a member of Unity, and I'll fight to the end for you. Your job will not be at stake. This transcend job. This is your child. You forced them out all those years ago, and nobody can feel for him like you.
When he has a visit, when he have to get visits, the visits come to you, the postman. Sometimes the mail gets to you late. You're supposed to make the appointment by the 20th. Sometimes you receive the visit form on the 21st. When you call and you're trying to explain that you just received the visit form, you're told, oh, well, then I could do about that. You're going to wait for the next one next month. Those are the things that you are being told. You're not allowed to see a child. Once a month, he's on remand. And once a month, you're allowed to see him. And if the visit comes late, you cannot see him. When you call up there, they treat you like you are less of a human being, or you are less of a person. Very, very seldom you find one of them that are courteous. when you call the heads, oh, can you give me a name and number? I will investigate and get back to you. And you're forever waiting on the call. And Marcia, I can tell you, I have names, times, dates, because I know it is always the person is lying. Oh, that person is lying, or that never happened. So I have dates, times, names, and my attorney can forward you or show you copies of letters that he is continuously, as recent as last week, writing to the Attorney General's office and asking them to investigate this matter with his house, and nothing is being done. You hear? I spoke to so and so from the Attorney General's office, and they has promised to look into it and get back to me, and still nothing is happening. I am at wit's ends. I don't know what else to do now.
Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Wow. I know that your credit, your I don't want to keep her on, Mr. Franklin, because I don't know what should we do at this stage.
Well, you have anything else you want to say to the people before we wrap up this session?
No, I just want to say, like I said before, that the prison, something needs to be done at the prison with the way the inmates are being treated. And the lies need to stop about, oh, everything is okay and this did not happen and this is not happening, and tell the public and the people of Barbados the truth and nothing but the truth as to what is really happening at Dodds prison.
Yeah.
That sounds like a hellhole.
Well, we are going to, Mr. Franklin, I know will do everything he can in terms of your work. One of the things that we're going to do, we will do whatever we can do. That's how we'll talk off air. And I just need, if you're listening, and we talked at the beginning of the show that we're all involved. It's not the people on the panel. You can hear this mother tonight. I've never met her, but I hear her. I have 3 sons, and I hear her, and I feel her. And I want to ask you if you are able to write. You're very good at writing, documenting. Please give me a call, 236-7000.
Marcia,
Okay.
I saw somebody making a statement here. I need to say something to them. Charles Belgrave, he is saying in the chat, it may sound harsh, but persons need to stay clear from running afoul of the law. Who tell you or anybody else, because a person has run afoul of the law, that he should be treated like an animal? And in this case, we ain't certain if he have run afoul of the law because he is an unconvicted person. He's in prison on remand. The reason why he is not, the bail is set, and then the mother can't afford the bail. So when people want to make statements, just think first. Think. Child Belgrave, think if this was your son. Think if this was your son, your one of your children. Think of you. And tell me,
Mr. Caswell, I want to say that I hope that my son is not victimized because of me speaking on the Marcia Wheat show tonight.
Well, if he is, because I've had an experience with that. A prisoner, I got some information from a prisoner and I broadcasted it, and they beat him the next day. I called the minister, and I met, and he came in, and his concern was that he that I had poison in prison. That was his major concern. Not that the people had treated the fellow very badly and beat him up. He had to get medical attention. So they're not going to try with him this time because I'm looking, and I've already asked people to look out for him, for me, since we spoke. So.
And I know Mr. Franklin will let us know if that has happened.
If they harm a hair on his head, I will find out.
Yeah, and he's going to let us know. Right?
Thank you.
Yeah, but I thank you for your bravery, And I know this is no bravery, really. This is your son, you hear? And when
Yes.
when your children, you're not thinking about anything about yourself. And you've come on, and you've shared your heart. And I know that I'll be saying a prayer for you tonight. In addition to saying the prayer, we're going to do what we can physically do for you, ma'am. I promise you, whatever I can do. Mr. Franklin would know what to do. We will do what we can do. And if all I need is to get those people who can write, people, we need help because we're doing quite a bit and our team is small. So if you can write and you have some time over the next 2 days, we're going to need you to enlist you to do some things. Okay, very important. Thank you so much, Mom, for coming up.
Good night.
Yes, good night.
Good night. We will talk.
Yes. Wow, Mr. Franklin. Oh my God. Tonight has been, and it's when you hear from the citizens, it was Miss Cox. There was the 25-year-old girl on the video. And now this is his mom. And this is the reality of the Barbados that we live in. We see our leader on a stage receiving a bogus award for leading in health. Leading in health. And listen to what is happening there, because we are nobodies to her. We're nobodies. I see Miss McLean is here. Good night, Miss McLean.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
Hi, Maxine. Good night. Good to hear you.
Well, it's good to hear you. I was here listening, and I really want to say that Barbados, if it wants to continue to put itself out there in the international arena as some exemplar, we have to do the right things at home. And I don't understand the comment of the man about what inferred in what he was saying, that if you're in prison, anything can go. But at the end of the day, there are a couple of things that concern me. And Marcy, I don't mind speaking about this for the rest of the evening, to be honest.
Go ahead.
Because I've long believed that we should have a separate facility for people on remand. Or if it is in the same complex, that they are separated significantly from prisoners, because you're on remand, that does not say you're guilty. And unfortunately, the length of time that people spend on remand is excessive. And in this case, from what I think I heard just now, he is there because they've not been able to raise the bail. Somebody was asking in a comment what is the level of the bail and so on. But that's an issue. How do we treat people who are on remand, and how do we try to expedite the processes so that their cases can come up, and have these things dealt with? Because it is not only in a case where a person cannot pay, but people are sitting there, being treated anyhow, and for extended periods of time, which essentially is cruel and inhumane. The other thing that is important in a country where we have such a high incidence of diabetes, hypertension, obesity, cardiac problems, you name all the things connected to poor diet in large measure, you can actually go to prison, come back out very sick. Now, I remember before the prison was moved to St. Philip, to Dodds, you used to have prison farms. Now you move into rural Barbados. Mm-hmm. And I would have expected that part of even the rehabilitation of prisoners and so on is that you give them something productive to do, and agriculture and food production, because I used to hear about the prison being self-sufficient in certain foods and so on. And in fact, there should be some basic minimum in terms of nutrition, quality of food. I saw a video, and I don't expect we will see that in Barbados, certainly not in my lifetime. But they were showing how the meals were prepared for prisoners in Japan, and the whole thing about nutrition and so on. And Apple of his eye is now saying, look, we have a young man who, from all we've heard is or will be diagnosed with cancer. So what, we're going to leave him there to do what? For the thing to just continue? I mean, and the whole what I would call inhumane, uncaring attitude. Any of us could be in prison. You know, you can go down the road tomorrow and in a fit of whatever, go down the road speeding and kill somebody, because you're tired, you're rushing, whatever, and in a fit of carelessness, let me call it that. You can take another human being's life and find yourself being found guilty of manslaughter and sentenced to prison. So it is not something that my whole concern is that we have to have minimum standards. I mean, something like somebody not having shoes. And I mean, to me, there's a list of things that a prisoner should be asked to have provided to him or her. And that must be mandatory. I can't imagine walking around. I don't know what the floors are like. I've not been to the inside of either complex to tell you what it looks like. But these are some minimum things. We're supposed to be a civilized society. We talk about each one matters and all of that. But notwithstanding the fact that in this case, the person has not been found guilty yet. But irrespective of whether you're there for life or whatever, I mean, some horrible crime, you are still a human being, And so you're going to treat somebody like an animal and then expect them to do what? Not come out of that period of incarceration worse than they went in. And I believe that there needs to be a definitive program. I remember seeing prisoners being transported. I mean, they may tell you these at different times, but people used to be sentenced to hard labor or whatever. You see prisoners coming out and cleaning buildings and doing whatever. Let them work on the prison farm where they produce fruits and vegetables. Because at the end of the day, what's going to happen now, when you refuse to give people a basic, decent diet, I'm not asking them to serve them and what they're going to find in a 4-star or 5-star restaurant or whatever. But if you refuse to be fed, provide prisoners with a decent, nutritious diet, and then they succumb or their conditions are worsened, because I'm sure some of them going there with hypertension, diabetes, and all of these things, and they get worse, and they come out of prison, find it hard to get a job in the best of times, and then they have some chronic disease. That's what's going to happen. That's going to cost taxpayers. So I don't know that people are thinking in terms of what's in long-term interest of the individual, in long-term interest of the society as well. But this is not good enough to listen to that and then have to worry about being victimized because your mother had to come and speak as a mother. I have a son too.
Born on the 20th of October.
Yes, very much so, as well. Same day that my credit union was registered and a certain gentleman was born. But this is serious, because we cannot afford to lose our humanity. And at the end of the day, at the end of the day, I would like to know, but Caswell, you might have an idea. Do they do any of this animal husbandry and so on at the prison anymore? I mean,
there is still some aspects of a farm, but I don't know how extensive it is. But no, I talking about the animals. They haven't killed all, because they were supposed to kill all the cows and dump them because they were sort of infested with fleas and ticks and stuff that have been no good. And they tried to save some of them, but I don't know what happened in the end.
No, but that's not good enough. We have a Ministry of Agriculture. We have veterinarians all over the island. So you see, this is where I would say to Minister Abrams, I think that is he's Minister of Home Affairs and responsible for Dodds Prison and the children. Sit down with your management team at the prison, with some advisors from the Ministry of Agriculture, and develop a proper program to produce fruits, vegetables, and livestock to help feed the prisoners. It also would be an opportunity for them to get some of the training equivalent to what some of the agricultural programs, the students who participate in the programs at Samuel Jackman Prescott Institute of Technology, at the BCC, some of them can get some of that kind of basic training. The Food and Agricultural Organization, I am sure, or some other multilateral agency or bilateral arrangements, the U.S. Embassy, the Canadians, or somebody who like to talk about human rights, can provide some financing for some of these projects. We talk about trying to resuscitate local crops, vegetables, varieties of local vegetables, and so on. Use some of the prisoners, some of the property at Dodds, I'm sure, or wherever is appropriate to do some of that experimentation and in this, enhance the debts of these people. I don't know.
The prison farm is now growing.
How do you just give somebody, was it a half pack of biscuit and water?
Mm-hmm. The prison farm is now growing a hospital.
You were saying, Caswell?
No, I said the prison farm is now growing a hospital.
You were saying something about the hospital.
No, I said the prison farm is now growing a hospital. Remember the prison used to farm that land up there?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember that. They used to be there in Bell.
Mm-hmm. It's now growing a hospital. Mind you, they're in St. Philip now. Oh. And the thing is, you can't even get transportation to take the prisoners to prison, so you might not be able to get transportation to take them down there. But Dodds got land. Use the land around them.
That's what I thought.
Dodds was a plantation.
That's what I thought, that there should be some
plantation land.
Yeah, right.
Was farmed in the past. Let the people, and I'm sure some of the people will want to be outside in the sun, getting some of that vitamin D, rather than being locked up in this bed, getting only biscuits and peanut butter and hot water.
Listen, a chicken takes between 6 to 8 weeks to grow. And I don't know what's the population of Dodds at this point in time, males and females. But a poultry operation, I have seen an operation where a young entrepreneur had a poultry processing operation where he had beyond slaughter, he had a very compact processing facility. Somebody like him could give him advice where in fact the entire operation could be self-contained. They don't have to send the things off to be slaughtered somewhere or whatever. They're compact operations given the size of the population, where you can have a combination of broilers and layers. The broilers is the ones you grow
to eat, broilers
6 to 8 weeks, and the layers, and at least give them an egg or whatever, couple of days of once or twice a week or something. That in itself is part of the protein. I mean, some people are allergic to peanuts.
Yeah, they're not.
So
and
you may kill somebody.
They got an orange last week. See, they got an orange week, first time in months, first fruit.
No, but that's not good enough. Look, we have, and this is again, an orchard. I mean, it wouldn't benefit in the short term. And then again, I wouldn't even say that, because there are varieties of fruit trees that grow quickly. I mean, things like guava. I mean, I am just thinking of, there's much that can be done. And as you said, one, it is about giving prisoners an opportunity to be outdoors and to stay relatively healthy by being exposed. I mean, with COVID and so on in other locations, one of the things they actually say about Black people, if we are not exposed to the sun, it can be very problematic for us, But I noticed there's something here, but Marcy, I don't think that we have
No, we can't. Yeah, we
We
can't.
don't have time to talk about that. The only thing I would say in relation to that, as we talk, when we talk, because as I had indicated, I had planned to talk
Yeah,
about the whole question of
yeah, but
restructuring this economy. Now, one of the things that I spoke of last time was this whole thing of agribusiness as we looked at Barbados Investment and Development Corporation, or Invest Barbados, Export Barbados as they call it now. If we're talking about agro-processing, one of the good places to go is to go to the prison and have the prison farm produce now, okay, here we have Joseph Cadogan saying for the prison farm to be successful, it has to be privatized. I don't know. Well, I don't know when you mean privatized. It has to be properly designed and administered and managed. Then he said there's a gentleman who donates fruits to the prison. He stopped because the prisoners they weren't getting it. Now that is an abomination, because it means that some other person or persons either getting it to consume or sell. I am saying that there can be a well thought out agriculture project which allows for the production. I mean, we have varieties of mangoes and all kinds of things that grow quickly. I know there's some varieties of golden apple. We've had issues with some of these things, and grow a variety of these things.
There's one thing I would like to interject. The Constitution of Barbados at Section 18(1) says, if any person is charged with a criminal offense, then, unless the charge is withdrawn, the case should be afforded a fair hearing within a reasonable time by an independent and impartial court established by law. He has been on remand since June 2020.
Well, that's a long time.
Reasonable time gone. It can't be reasonable to got somebody. Let's say suppose he's innocent of the charge. He would have spent 4 years in jail, and what they'll do when they find him not guilty, they go open the door and let him out. He would have lost 4 years of his life. You can't keep people in jail without trying them for all this time. What is wrong with the courts?
Question, Caswell, because I just, as you say, so because I've been working with doing some work, so I've had the Constitution next to me, next to where I'm sitting, and I looked at that. Now, if I heard correctly, what I heard just now was that from his mother was, or not from his mother, from somebody responding after that he's on remand because she's not been able to pay the bill. That's what I was hearing.
$200,000.
No, my question is, so in $200,000, was it 10% you have to pay, or what? That's
no,
how it
you
works.
you have to put up
have the sureties in the full amount.
Surety to that amount. Now, if you don't turn up for court, then let's say you put up your house.
Right, so it has to be the full amount, which means then they would take your house.
She can't put up her house because her house is subject to a mortgage already.
Right, so that doesn't qualify. But the point I'm making now, if in this, the other thing I'm thinking about is how we deal with cases where people cannot meet bail, because so you're going to sit there because you cannot afford bail, and you said 2020, 21, 22, 23, this is going into 4 years, depending on when in 2020.
June
2020. So June 21, 22, 23, 24 will be 4 years next month.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a concern. So my question is, how do we also hope that the system can manage those cases so that those people don't get lost? Because at the end of the day, I mean, imagine you are there on remand. You cannot afford, you cannot make the bail, but you have I wouldn't even want to say it because his mother is listening to the program, but you're talking about a very serious illness. And no. I think that this is.
This one have me, boy. I tell you, I just people. I'm reading the phone because people are responding, and so we will speak off
Okay.
You know, we are not going to. We're going to try to do something. So the
Yes.
you know, people want so the bail is 200K. And then there are other things that also. So
At
wow.
a minimum, Marcia, I think what we're saying is, look, the young man needs to get to see the medical doctor. If he needs special nutrition and the court cannot provide it, that some arrangement be made where some things can be made available to him if government is unable or unwilling to provide the special diet. I mean, it is like going into the hospital now. If I step away a little bit from the prison, and I remember saying the last time I had to visit a relative, and I was sincere about it. I said to my oldest sister, because she's the one who's here in Barbados, and I said to her, look, I'm telling you now, if I have to be in hospital, please be prepared to provide me with meals. Because sometimes when I look at what is provided, I don't have a special diet per se, but I try to eat properly. Now consider if I were diabetic or whatever, and I see what is served without consideration. Sometimes people have special requirements. They can't swallow this, and then you see a big hard bread come with a piece of chicken in or something. You know, by the time the meat comes, kind of,
chicken, peanut butter.
I thought prison. I thought the hospital. I thought the hospital. No, you know, and so I remember in the past seeing people having served for what appeared to be options. Because if you were on a public ward and you looked around, you realize that some people had slightly different meals, which to my mind was indicative of that person's special diet. But if you're not, you know, and it is something that, because then what happens is that there's a lot of wastage. I'm talking about the hospital situation now, because a lot of food then goes back, you know. Sean is talking about, they used to have a bakery. They were into making furniture. So I'm saying
they still have a bakery in the prison. I remember some time ago, they didn't have any flour though. And when the prison officers had to go and pull her pocket and buy flour and fats to make the bread, and then they didn't want to pay her back the money because they said that nobody tells you to buy it. They didn't have a pound of flour to make bread for the 1,000 prisoners out there. And one prison officer, you didn't want the place to riot, and she pulled her pockets until she hoping that the next day they'd be able to get back the money, and that was a problem until they spoke up. You have some devils running the prison. They don't care about people.
Look at what Mr. Colin Roach is saying, and if Colin can assist. I don't know if he has your number. He can reach out to you, Mr. Franklin. He has information, because he's saying something. I don't know. I know he's a
He's suggesting that you can file. I think he's saying is that I don't remember the comment, Colin.
It's right on the screen. It's on.
That's what I'm seeing Colin's comment, but I was thinking he was referring to something Joseph said. But what he's saying basically is, from what I'm reading, that perhaps on the basis of his medical condition, there can probably be an application for a reduction in bail. I don't know the nature of the crime he committed or anything. We don't, but he's
saying. But
the court has already offered bail, so that means it is a bailable offense.
By saying a reduction, so that he's saying that you can apply for a reduction.
Yeah, I think we need to discuss this off the air.
He has competent counsel.
Okay.
I mean, he has competent counsel, and the counsel is aware of this.
Okay.
That's the problem, is getting the court, because every time you got the court, the case get put back. He filed a constitutional motion in court, and they can't get the matter heard because they got the boy to hear it. All kind of stuff is going on and on and on and on, and they can't get a date.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shift.
We have 5 minutes.
I'm just gonna shift from this and raise a matter when we talk about the court system.
No, we can't. It's 10:04.
Well, sorry. Okay. I was just gonna ask if anything is working. That's what I was gonna ask, because you can't get letters of administration. You can't get wills probated. I hear. Well, I don't know what the divorce guy. I that won't apply to me. But
What we can do, we definitely, this is something that we can pick up tomorrow.
okay,
We can pick this up tomorrow. You know, as we did last time, and we brought things over, and look how this
okay,
one was. So we'll
fine,
bring it over tomorrow,
no
and
problem.
and deal with it. But I just wanna thank everybody for being on tonight. Um, Wow, this has been really heart wrenching. I need to go back over the show and cut out some sections out of it. But thank you so very much. Thank you to Miss Cox who came on, Winston who came on as well, and of course Miss McLean. I know you are busy at the DLP, watching the DLP meeting, which I'm told I'm being sent some stats here that the views were over 8,063 views.
Okay,
And yes, and you know, very, very, I mean, people were really glued onto it, and that's good. And I just want to announce that because sometimes we don't get these good you know, they're not going to take these kinds of things in the regular media. So it was seemed to have been a very, very good meeting. So, but thank you, Miss McLean, for coming on, and
you're
thank
welcome. And thanks
Mr. Franklin.
as
And
well.
we're still going to do our final words quickly. Miss McLean, anything on this particular issue you want to say
No,
quickly?
I just really think that there's a lot that we can do that is not going to cost the taxpayers a ton of money, that can be transformative of the quality of experience that prisoners have, that can effectively serve to impact positively on the operating costs, while at the same time providing prisoners with a form of exercise and training. And this centers around the whole business of production of produce and so on that can go into the prison kitchens to improve the quality of meals served to prisoners. They are human beings, and they need to be treated as such. While you pay for a crime, or you await trial, that's one thing. But at the end of the day, we all have to ask ourselves, is this how I would want to be treated if I were on that receiving end? You know.
Yeah. Thank you, Miss McLean, and Mr. Franklin.
All right. Thank you very much, Marcia. I am happy to hear that the DLP had a good showing. We need that. And while I'm looking at everything, I realized that the people were actually there were some of ours, because after this finished, our numbers went up. But our likes are still below 400, so I wouldn't mind if you would give it a little like or two, you know, to help us on our way. But anyhow, thanks for all of those who came on and stayed with us, and for the others after they went through that meeting, they then came and joined us. So we are very grateful for you, and we appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Franklin, and it's a dream. I thank you for the work you do for Barbados. And I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. I really mean that. I bless you. I don't know how you manage or you take it in. You see how I can't take in too much. It's just sad. It's very sad. I'm thanking God for those who are reaching out to me on my phone right now. And we know we're going to be chatting after this because, you know, we know how we do it on here. We're going to try to get it done. Calvin, what is Calvin's last name? Mitchell? Calvin from the US, if you can reach out to let us know about the Amnesty International that you were talking about. And there was another one, we wrote it off. If you have information, you can reach out to us. Thank you all so much for watching tonight. Remember that I have not gotten any communication to say that we can march. That hasn't come to me. Someone is saying they said no marching in the World Cup. I have not gotten anything of that sort.
We can't say that.
So we and so we're scheduled to have our march on June 1st, as we And on that march, I want to invite, I'm publicly inviting the DLP to the march. We are going to do a memorial as well to Errol Barrow. That's the day that he died, June 1st, 1987.
Okay.
And so we want to invite the DLP to come out to that, and we want to do something special in that march, because under no circumstances and at no time and in no way will they, the powers that be, force us to forget the founding father. Never, never. So we're going to acknowledge that on the day. Yes, we're going to talk about the cybercrime bill, but we're going to acknowledge that, and in the park as well, Independence Square. Thank you all so very much. God bless you all. And I know we're on a little sad, but we'll have good news tomorrow. All right. God bless you. Love you all. Thank you, Dave, for holding the fort there. Thanks, Dave. God bless.
Nor English, pretending to be good. Pretending to be good, just pretending to be good. Pretending to be good, I just pretending to care about people. 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 Pretending, and I'm pretending to be good at maths nor English. I just pretending to care about people. And I'm pretending to be good at maths nor English. Good at maths nor English. English. Pretending to be good. I pretending to be good. Just pretending to be good. I pretending to be good. I just pretending to care about people. 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 Pretending. And I'm pretending to be good at maths nor English. I just pretending to care about people. And I'm pretending to be good at maths nor English. I just pretending to care about people. I'm pretending to be good. And I'm pretending to be good at maths nor English. I just pretending to care about people. And I'm pretending to be good at maths nor English. I just pretending to care about people.
Promise us a better tomorrow. Tell me that it's suffering done. Me attack the vote and let me down. Me attack the vote and let me down. She did only want little dealing, big contracts and not corruption. Me attack the vote and let me down. Me attack the vote and let me down. Barbados is too small for me. My pocket full now, you and job they promise me. And a girl like me want power and more money. You cry transparency, but that's a no for me. Promise us a better tomorrow. Tell me that it's suffering done. Me attack the vote and let me down. Me attack the vote and let me down. She did only want little dealing, big contracts and not corruption. Me attack the vote and let me down. Me attack the vote and let me down.
I tell you, that song on Instagram.
You were stuck there for it.
We were stuck. We were stuck as well.
No, I was seeing you.